All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We were just talking about how much Travis likes Uggs.
I do. They're quite comfortable and especially very well done when I have vibrant green socks.
There was a picture of a bunch of women that went to CSU, and they're like all standing there, and they look very similar. They're all wearing like basically like blue jeans / jeggings. They all have Uggs on. They all had a white shirt and like a black vest. And it's not like they were all dressed the same. Well, that's the thing. It's not like they're all dressed the same in terms of like we're wearing a uniform, but they were all dressed the same in terms of like this is what this subset of people wear, and they all just look like Han Solo.
Yeah, I saw Han Solo season is upon us. That meme usually circulates in the fall. It's wonderful.
There was
because that's when the new Mandalorian comes out. Generally,
the old Mandalorian.
I have rumor news about that later.
I just liked how at no point, and this is going to be a spoiler for a season 2 of Mandalorian, at no point did Bill Burr's character go, "Why do you have a mustache? Who is that for?" The only one that sees your face is you. Do you have a mustache for you?
I think so.
I feel like I would want him to say like something. It definitely needed a comment on it. Like, didn't expect a mustache.
Yeah, like I just expected something about it when he takes off the helmet and there's this like sweaty mustache plastered across his lip. And Bill Burr said nothing. And I was like, I don't like this.
So the reality is Bill Burr probably had a half dozen lines and they all hit the cutting room floor.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Worst.
I just think it's cool that Bill Burr, a comedian, got a role in Mandalorian.
Well, it's because he's friends. It's because he's friends with Jon Favreau.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's also not the only comedian in The Mandalorian. Zero was played by the same dude who is in IT Crowd.
Yeah, Richard Ayoade.
Yep.
Yeah, he played the Richard Ayoade droid.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Also, like Jason Sudeikis is in there beating up Grogu.
Yeah,
Well,
Jason Sudeikis
honestly,
is the guy that hits Grogu.
Now that
which was
Now that
really funny because like when that episode aired, he woke up and his wife was like, "I don't know what you did, but Twitter hates you right now." And he goes, "Wait, what?" And he's like, I don't have a Twitter account." So I went on it and he goes, "Oh, I punched the baby." And she was like, "Why did you punch the baby?" And he's like, "I don't know. Taika said ad lib and I wanted to be a bad guy, so I hit the baby."
What did I just walk into?
Us talking about proper parent care.
Oh, okay.
Talking about Jason Sudeikis slapping around Baby Yoda.
I mean, I've punched a baby. What's the big deal?
All right, Andy, I'm showing that you are still not in the game.
Why would I be in the game?
Mike, which, by the way, everybody, Mike's back. I'm showing that you are in the game.
Hello.
But your name is still set to Ringer, and I can't change it. So maybe only you can change it?
How do I do that?
Right-click your name, player configuration.
The right character.
I mean, it's not a huge deal. It's just annoying to me to see, like, and starring Tertia, played by Ringer.
Hang on. Is there a way to add a new player and delete this one?
I mean, yeah, we can, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll do that later.
All right, Satan.
We'll catch it in
trademarked.
post.
We'll catch
I'm
her in
in.
post.
I mean, Ringer's a shapeshifter. I'm just saying.
You don't know that.
He's not a shapeshifter so much as like a mass shifter. He just gets real heavy, and then the burrito passes through him.
I was gonna say we can make chaps fantastic real happy. Ringer is the new character in disguise, so really has been here the whole time.
I mean,
It's assuming you
think that's
know what
possible.
would make
You don't
chaps
know I wasn't.
fantastic happy.
Well,
he can be happy. I've seen it happen.
Oh,
You know, if
just
you
the immediate deflation of. Oh.
if you do a spoonerism on there, it's kind of sort of like Fats Chaptastic, and I like that.
that's wonderful. That's a very horrible image to think of. Like it's funny to look at. Fats chaptastic.
So, we had there were a couple of sort of off-screen rules clarifications based on things that we talked about last week, and I want to go over them with the party because I've gone over them with the people that we talked to, but just so that everybody knows things that are happening and why they're happening and whatnot. Number one, Sharut is an archaeologist and linguist, and didn't have a rank of linguistics, so he moved a skill around and he grabbed one. Because basically one of the things that linguistics lets you do is decipher old languages, even if you speak the new version of that language. Like, as a modern English speaker, speaking like Chaucer-aged English or reading Chaucer-aged English is hard. Going back to like the step before that, when it's like Old Germanic, and it's technically the basis of English, but not, anything that we're accustomed to, is like impossible. So that's what linguistics does. So talk to Noah. Sharut grabbed a rank of it. So basically what we're going with is that Sharut absolutely could not decipher that piece of leather, but Lumio was able to. The other thing is the damage reduction sundering thing. Looked it up, and basically for injury-based things, which this sunder ability that Dandrin has, is you have to actually deal damage. He has to deal at least 1 point of damage to be able to use the sunder on a person, like or like a creature. It's the same as if say a snake has a injury-based poison in its fangs and it tries to bite you, and because of magic or whatever, none of the damage gets through. That means that since it couldn't deal damage, it couldn't deposit the poison. So since this is an injury-based thing, that's how it is. So he'll have to do at least 1 point of damage, which, considering that most of the aberrations you guys are fighting are like DR5, that's not impossible for him. But a basic weapon will definitely make it easier. So those are the rules housekeeping. Yeah. So to do a quick recap of last week, the team was still in the catacombs underneath Starlasker, which is there. Ooh, my clicky is not working. Hold on. I need that, so I'm gonna exit out and restart. There we go. The rest of you will probably have to refresh.
Correct. And now I'm playing as Dandrin.
No, unacceptable. I'll play as a game master.
Hold on a minute.
No, this is now Warhammer again.
Yeah. All right.
Back to Altdorf.
I'll let the rest of you re-enter the game.
What was the name of the worst city in Warhammer?
Oh, Bogenhofen.
Bogenhofen. We're going to Bogenhofen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like Buford would be like, back to home then.
The worst city in Warhammer is Bogenhofen, and probably one of, if not the worst, in Eberron is Starlasker.
Nice.
Oh, I would have liked to have known that several years ago.
Yeah. And then when you guys were like, let's play Star Wars, it's like, where are you going? I got Tatooine, I guess. Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
We love them trash cities.
Yeah.
Not the Tatooine of Star Wars.
It's like the Tatooine of Star Wars.
It's almost
You don't
as if.
So,
I would have never guessed what from the name in the...
So, everybody is in the catacombs underneath Starlasker. They do some general sort of like dungeoneering type stuff. They're disarming traps. They're failing to disarm traps and paying for it. They find some staterooms that have been long abandoned, but don't have the amount of decay or rot that you would assume from wooden furniture in a 5,000-year-old room. They fight a couple of Dolgaunts. They then come to a desk that had a dead hobgoblin lieutenant in it, who killed himself with a dagger that had a keeper's stone in the hilt, thus like sort of entrapping his soul and tainting it for resurrection. And he left a note that said, Olh'sharaak has finally fallen. The Spear Lord lies corrupt, but dead and guarded. As many of those spawn in the Dalekir as we could lure and trap, we have done so. We have sent runners in every direction to every settlement to let them know that Olh'sharaak is no longer the center of the Kaldurg's empire. There is no more of the Kaldurg's empire. Spearhold is a ruin. I am sorry for what I have done to those in the pens, and for what I may have unleashed upon those above. It was necessary to attempt to secure the Citadel. Should you choose not to free me, I would understand. So they found that lieutenant's body. In the end, I believe Sharut did sort of convince everybody else to free him, so they kind of shattered the gem, and a big, scary specter emerged and flew off, and I was like, make will saves, and everybody rolled above a 20. So everybody was just like, yeah, ghosts. I mean, what would you expect?
I mean, we knew his soul was in there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And then after that, they found a wall of ice that looked like obsidian. It was just solid black. It was basically like not really reflective, but you could still see that sort of shine that you would see on like black ice if black ice was on the road. Zarak burnt a tunnel through that with one of her spirit abilities, and the team kind of ventured through that. At one point, Dandarin tripped, and when he tripped, his face smacked against the ice. And now the last couple days are just a blur to him. Like he knows his friends are here, and he knows that he's here with his friends, but he doesn't really understand every detail that goes from like A to B to C over the last couple days now. They got through, and they got into some tunnels that were sort of smoothed natural rock that has since been covered in ice, and went through. They discovered what looked like might be some tracks to a big beastie, and they said, we're gonna go the other way. And then they went the other way, and they emerged from that tunnel onto a bridge leading across a frozen lake to Spearhold, to Olh'sharaak, the city of Predna's Kaldurgs, the Frozen Spear. So, with all of that, we will put everybody...
all my HP.
Oh, yeah, we do have to do that, huh?
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
a minor detail. We should do that first.
We should probably do that real quick, since you're starting a dude. So, Mike, what kind of HP die do you have? I believe it's a D10, right?
It is a D10.
I will roll 1d10.
So will I.
You should take mine.
I will take yours.
I will roll 1d10. You
I
should
will
take
take mine.
yours.
Let me see these rolls. Oh God!
Yeah, it's
Fucking Eric. All right. So,
I'm kidding you.
we will begin with the group down here. You have just emerged from the tunnels, and you get to see this process that happens as you emerge, and the light that you have on your torches and on Zarak's lantern and on Delian's like little glowing blue disc basically just sparkles along this, and then it sparkles farther and farther and farther and farther, and it just grows, and it briefly kind of outlines the entire city before it fades. So you get kind of this effect, and then it goes back. And this is not enough for those who do not have the dark vision of the underground races to completely like see in the dark, but it's enough to be able to outline structures. It looks like not all of the ice in this place is that kind of reflective blue Resian ice. But a good amount of it is. So like, and it's kind of interwoven with regular ice. So you are all down here. To the north, you see a number of buildings. You see the roof of this place is about 100 feet above you, if that gives you an idea of how deep you've come. So the roof of the cavern is about 100 feet up, and some of these platforms in front of you start at about the halfway mark to that 100 feet. Some of them are only 10, 20 feet up. You see a number of buildings. You see a number of these sort of like stalagmite meets, what do you call it? A column, I guess. You see a number of like rocky columns in the middle. And the rocky columns in the middle are sort of kind of outlined by these buildings that are on the sides. So, yeah. I know that as soon as you got in, Sharut went, wow. And he started to like get out his book and sort of sketch an outline of the city.
That's correct.
So, Sharut, once you have an outline, and the rest of you, since you're not sketching the city, please tell me, all of my wonderful jelly spoons, what are you going to do?
Oh, this is lovely. Where is this again? Why are we here? Still a bit foggy on it.
This is Olh'sharaak,
Hmm.
fallen city Dakani. We are here to gather heirlooms. Is best word.
Right. Looking for magic and such.
Yes.
Well, let us get going.
All right, probably go then.
You are not.
Yeah, it says the game
Interesting.
is paused, which no
The game
sense.
is
Must
paused.
be
The game is not
unfortunate for you.
paused, so you might have to refresh.
Aha! There we go. We're off.
Oh,
From-
oh.
All right,
From the-
hold
from
on.
the back.
Now the game is paused. And
No, damn it.
okay, go ahead. All right.
From the back, Zarak is going to highlight, this frozen pool of ice, this lake beneath us.
Actually, hold on. Eric, can you move back to about right there?
Not while it's
And-
paused.
Well, yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, so I will actually take these figures and put you all on a different map. So give me just 1 second here. But go ahead and
Yeah,
say what
no
you were
worries.
going to say there, Zarak.
Given the ice, it's likely that we'd want to set up a camp of sorts somewhere with a large fire and retreat. A little too cold.
If set up camp, must do it or cover. Fire, draw too much attention.
Indeed.
So you guys are on this bridge, and the bridge is it's not directly over the lake beneath you. You got a good 20, 30 feet from where you are down to where it is. And you, this bridge that you're crossing has clearly seen, if not battle, some sort of protracted siege. Like, you're walking past sort of like shattered barricades. You're moving over the occasional like hobgoblin or goblin body. You're passing by these like frozen mounds of ice and snow, which when you move a little bit of the white off them, you can see below. And it's about a 50-50 as to whether they are one of the Dar or one of the aberrations. It's a grim sight. Oh wait, I should fix your guys' vision because I have your vision from the other map. Sorry. The other map is 10-foot scale instead of 5-foot scale, so I had to reduce your little lantern things. There you go. Zarak and Dillian are properly luminescent now. So yeah, you're passing by, like here's a pile that's probably a body. There's another 2 piles that are a couple of bodies. You can see these just as you're walking. So Dandarin, when you get to about right there, can you give me a perception check? And everybody else, you can try to give me a perception check as well. However, the rest of you are at a -2.
Can I be pulled onto the correct map?
Yeah, I don't have the right map.
We're still on the yeah.
There we go.
Oh, look, loading bridge.
You're
Man.
saying there was a penalty to this check?
Yeah, Dandarin's going to get the regular check. The rest of you will get it on -2 for distance.
Oh.
My
All right.
Sharut just on the corner of the bridge. I've got to jump.
Yeah, Sharut, Dillian, and Dandarin, all of you will see both parts of this that happen. The rest of you will be surprised by this. So, where are enemies? There they are. So, Dandarin, you see this thing pull itself up onto the bridge.
Some kind of ice troll.
I don't know why it's a luminescent ice troll. But hey.
It's been eating the cave moss.
So you see that, and you and the rest also see that something similar is happening behind you. However, it is not being super helpful here. 1 second. My thing from last week decided it didn't want to do a thing.
I lack the permission to update tokens.
That usually happens.
Yeah.
So 1 second here. Dandarin, you spot the troll. Like, it looks like it's kind of trying to hide behind this pillar right here, but it's big, and that's not gonna happen very well. Sharut and Delian, you not only spot the troll, you spot a creature that's back here that looks sort of like, it looks kind of like this hunched over beetle person, but it's about the size of Dandarin.
So it's that
It's that thing we successfully checked against
yeah,
last time.
the name escapes me right now.
Yeah, it's that thing.
Yeah, the Umber Hulk.
Great.
So, what would you all like to do here?
I am going to pull out my bardish and brace for a charge.
Okay.
Or prepare to charge. One of the two, whichever. If it seems like it's going to come at me, I'm going to brace.
Okay. Sounds good. Delian and Sharut, the other two of you were the ones that saw things. What would you like to do?
After you.
Okay, I'd probably let the group know
Okay.
that there's a troll ahead of us and the Umber Hulk behind us.
Travis, you're
And
real
then-
scratchy.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man. All right. Well, that's what I do. I'm gonna work on fixing this.
Okay.
I suppose Sharut will craft a special poison and put it on.
Okay. So can everybody please roll me a please roll your initiative for me, please, and then we'll start combat.
Wow, that's a natural one, or no, two.
Mike, what is Tertia's initiative?
+5.
Jesus. The easiest way to do this is for me to make her dexterity a 20. There you go.
How do I sound now? Better or worse?
Same.
The same.
About the same.
Fucking cool.
Get that scratch.
Like, give me feedback of what's
It sounds like it's trying to go robotic, but it's failing to.
Like-
Yeah.
Like there's little pops in between.
So
here.
it might be that my microphone just dying.
That would be
Uh,
unfortunate.
Potential.
That's plausible.
Do you have a spare mic?
Oh,
I do.
I'm unsure.
I mean, it's not that bad. Like, we can still hear you. It's just that, there's some scratch there.
Okay, let me.
I've got a spare one if you want to try it tomorrow.
So
for tomorrow.
I know I'm now quieter. Did that help at all?
Not at
No.
all.
Nope.
No, not in any way, really.
Very dope. Very cool.
So cool, so dope, so fresh, so clean.
Cool.
Wow.
I'm sorry, guys. I'll just mute myself and I'll try not to talk.
No, it's fine. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want you to not talk.
It's not annoying. You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was just letting you know that it was happening because I know that you have, like, a mixer set up and you might have been able to, like, flick a quick switch and fix it or something. But it's...
Yeah, that's what I'll do some more tests, but carry on.
Okay. So, top of the round is Corley. Corley will move closer to Zeract and basically sort of set for charge.
Is this junk behind me difficult terrain?
It is, yes. Anything that you see on here is difficult terrain. And I will say that running is difficult. Moving slowly with purpose will be okay for the most part on the bridge. If you attempt to run, it will require an athletics check. Yeah, thank you for asking. So she will basically move to there next to you and kind of like set for a charge, like to attack if the thing gets close. For Sidna, we'll do much the same on that side. Lumio, it is your turn.
All right. Let's drop us. I don't see either of the threats yet. Based on my vision.
Yeah, so like it's still dark here. You have like that faint outline of the bridge and the city and everything, but like you're still reliant on the light.
Yeah. So I'm going to move to the middle of the thing and drop my beacon here, and I'm going to drop the one that gives us bonus to weapon damage.
Weapon damage. Okay. So that's 55 feet. Well, bams. Zoract. What would you like to do?
Well, I know there's a threat. I don't see any threats. Zoract is going to hold an action to fire a shot when something comes into visual range.
You should be able to see both.
I
that
cannot
case-
see both either. I'm not seeing.
Sorry, if that was. I thought
So
that was
so you can't see both because you have limited dark vision. Like your dark vision is 60 feet, and they are more than 60 feet away from you. So yeah, but Zoract has low light vision and should be able to see the Umber Hulk right there.
Yeah.
And
I can
the troll
I
right
can
there.
see them on the map. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I thought it was a.
So basically the perception check was do you get an extra round to prep, and you did not, and they did.
Cool. In that case, yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Zoract is going to take a shot at a -2 because outside of the first range increment.
Okay.
For crossbow at the Umber Hulk.
All right. Go ahead and take your shot.
There it is.
Add 2 to that.
Yep. Sorry, 6 damage there.
Okay. Let me go ahead and make it float 6 feet in the air. After that, Dandelion, you can see the troll. You heard a crossbow shot behind you, followed by this kind of like, it's a weird sound. It's an angry, high-pitched roar that has a lot of like clicking involved in it. It's real weird. But it's your turn.
Well, I'm sure everything will be fine. I will continue to brace for the charge, and well, actually, yeah, I'll just basically ready to action when he gets close enough. Brace for charge.
All right. Sounds good. You are bracing for charge. Delian, it's your turn. You have low light, so you can see both of the monsters as well.
I think I will have an action to where I think I would head more towards the troll than the Umber Hulk.
Okay.
And so getting ready to fight deer, essentially. I move there. I don't have any action to just,
Just moving
being-
closer, and then that's it.
yeah, just being prepped.
Okay, sounds good. The Umber Hulk will start running forward because Zoract was mean.
Running forward. Okay.
Running is difficult, so there's a roll involved here, and it is really not great at this roll. Whew. So the Umber Hulk will basically it's going to run to about here and then fall and slide to there. So you guys just hear this.
And then tears start welling up in his eyes and say, "Don't look! You're not supposed to look!"
And the ice troll will do the same thing. It's going to run at Dandelion. Dandelion, go ahead and make your attack. It's an ice troll.
What?
It's an ice troll, so it's not going to roll the acrobatics check.
Goody goody gumdrops. And what was this totem again?
This is the one that adds +2 damage.
So you can't attack his claws and his, private parts.
All right, I guess I'll try to hit him, and we'll just be satisfied with that. And I'll spend a hero point because I have 0 faith in my ability.
Okay. Go ahead
Watch
and
him roll
roll.
a 20.
He's going to threaten a crit. Yeah.
I
I'm gonna
will
roll a nat
say
one and make it irrelevant.
if you guys roll a crit with the hero point, if you guys roll a crit with the hero point addition, I will say that you get the hero point to the crit roll as well, or the confirmation as well.
The damage is. Hold on, I have to add to the brace because I didn't have it prepared. So the actual damage he takes is 11 because I brace, so it does double damage when bracing for a charge. And then
does a Bardish actually have brace? Fuck,
Yeah.
it does. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a brace weapon. It's so short.
No, but yeah,
By the way, this is the
So-
first time I've ever seen somebody successfully brace for a charge.
yeah, that's why I added +8 because I knew I was.
I want to say that I've been playing. I am 36 now. I've been playing for 24 years. So since I was 12, I have built characters around bracing for a charge, and they have always missed. So well done, sir.
Yeah, and he's at -2 to hit with his claws.
Okay, so that is that damage is 11 total.
Mhm.
He's at a -2 to hit with his claw. And I am so happy that bracing for a charge worked. Oh no, wait, it's not 11, it's 13 because of the +2 damage.
That's right.
And I am
actually,
so
it would
happy
also
that
be
your bracing for a charge works that you will get your hero point back.
Nice. And actually, it would be 14 because I forgot that the weapon was magical, so I wasn't adding correctly because it's two-handed. Stabity.
Oh yeah, all right, 14 damages.
Sure.
Take that. I know you won't. You slice into him. He roars, and that roar just like reverberates. It just echoes in this place, and you hear roars that aren't the same roar, but you just hear a lot of different shouts and clicks and echoes and the cracking of ice, just kind of race through the city, sort of the same way that initial flash of your light did.
Dandarin, tell him to cut that out. We're trying to be stealthy.
Curse your mother with that mouth, you brute.
So, and next is Sharut, who I believe rolled a 1 on initiative.
I rolled a 2,
Ooh.
Sir.
sir. Pew pew.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
if you would like to pew and then pew again, who are you pewing at? There is a troll and there is some sort of tiny Umber Hulk.
We're gonna
And a
shoot
dwarf.
That's some sort of. Wait, the dwarf is back is turned to me.
This betrayal, perfectly timed.
We'll go for the Umber Hulk.
Okay.
All right, so that is. Oh, there we go. There's the first shot, which is gonna miss, and here's the, which is also gonna miss.
It is also going to miss. So basically, it sort of slides, and you kind of like plink the crossbow into the ice, and you see it continue to slide and just kind of roll over that crossbow. And then so you try to properly aim for the next shot, and you aim at where it will be, and you shoot, and then you see it take its big mandibles on its face and kind of just slam them into the ice on top of the bridge, and it stops moving. And because you were leading the target on the second one, second shot misses too. And then real quick, we're going to have a quick little intermission. Terzia.
Alright.
So
Goes on tight.
we're gonna jump back over, and I'll even give you a Terzia.
My very own Tertia.
So,
I
you
would like to mention I am on the other map.
I activated the map. Why did it not do that?
I'm on the other map now.
Are you in the city now?
Yep.
Okay. So, Terzia, this expedition has not gone the way that you hoped it would be. The way that it was sold to you was basically, this is a real quick kind of smash and grab. You go in, you follow orders, you dig out some dragon shards, you get paid for each dragon shard that you help to dig out, but you don't get to keep any of the shards. And if there's any loot, then all surviving prospectors get a share at the end when the loot's sold.
Yep.
It sounded like a great deal, and everybody knows that, dragon shard prospecting is basically what House Thrash does. So you're like, why not? Why not? What's the worst that can happen? And at the beginning, it was fine. There were tunnels. There was ice. It very quickly got cold, but you don't really have well, actually, I don't know. Did you bring a cold weather gear for Terzia?
I did not buy those, no.
Okay, so you're mostly relying on the magic of the cloak to keep you warm, or if not warm, not a popsicle.
Yeah, not freezing to death.
Probably like it's actually maybe a little outlandish to all the people you were working with, because they were all just so incredibly bundled. These huge mantles of fur and huge puffy coats, and hung down to like their knees or their calves on some of them. Some of them having like, these like gripping boots, or these weird forward curving axes. Almost looks like a sickle, like somebody would use on wheat. And you're pretty much just in your regular clothing, wearing your family's cloak, and you're fine. The first couple of days of the dig are okay, but there's not much to be found. They just very quickly go through everything. They take it. You find a couple of geodes, and once they're cracked, the shards within real small. Day 4 is where things kind of happened, because there was this just wall of it looked like a wall of shadow and just solid darkness at the end of this tunnel. And the heirs of the house were saying, what we're looking for is beyond there. That's where we need to be. And so there was honestly that time frame's a little bit vague. You don't remember exactly everything. There was, some things kind of came and went. But you know that you saw the wall, and you know that you got through the wall, but the steps in the middle, little iffy. And then
I didn't think we brought any wine, but maybe they did.
And then people were through the wall, and there was a series of tunnels, and then the tunnels started to lead to something, and started to get colder and colder, and it got to the point where like even your cloak, enchanted as it was not fantastic protection against it. Like, while you didn't put one on, you might have silently wished that you actually had one of those big coats.
Oh yeah, I never would have asked.
No, yeah, you don't ask. You just kind of hope that somebody dies in such a way that they don't mar the cloak, and then you can take it. But there was a point where you and your group from the expedition, there were 7 or 8 of you, you got in here, and you realized that like there's this big basically slope up, this ice covered slope, but by the angle of it, you're like, this is actually doable. And so they got their ice axes, and they roped it off and hammered pitons into the wall, and eventually you all managed to get up here, and you saw this weird citadel, and you saw the way that everybody's light cascaded over things. And it was around that time when everybody was like, oh my god, we actually found an entire city down here. Like, is this what we were looking for? Because that group that you were with, those like 8-ish people, you didn't have any heirs with you. So basically you're the help working with the help. And the help is not necessarily well informed in these sort of situations. And so you start walking around, and then some of the men, some of the group start just standing stock still. Some of them just like scream and run and rush to attack each other. You saw one, there was this weird looking, honestly, it sort of looked like a cloak. It was like this, it was like if you took a cloak, but where you would normally tie the cloak around and clasp it in front of you, like at the neck, instead of clasps, imagine it had 2 heads. And you saw that just fly down, latch on to the gnome that came with you, and then fly off. And then there was a lot of running, and you can see the outline of things, but you can't really make your way around. It's not quite enough light, even for your elven eyes. And so there's just a blind run, and then you find a wall, but the wall is worked stone, and the doors seem locked on this wall as you move around it, but you're like, well, I can climb it. It's not that high from the outside. And so you climb up, and you end up in this pin. And so basically, so that you can kind of understand how this works, you have kind of a lower area here, and then you have a wall that goes all the way around it. And this pin is, number one, there's light inside. Very, very little light. This thing only sheds a illumination in about a 5-foot radius from itself. But there were a lot of like bedrolls, and in addition to a lot of bedrolls, there were a lot of other things too, like bodies, like just these snow and ice covered bodies of dwarves, elves, humans, a lot of humans. But up here when you climb the wall, because there's a little ladder right here, you climb the wall and you're able to open this door and get into this place. And this place isn't well appointed. There's like a desk and a chair, and there were a couple of boxes that had this, kind of like basically frozen supplies. But you have spent the last 3 days in this box. You occasionally exit out of here, climb down, grab a couple of these bedrolls, climb back up, and you have been sort of surviving off of lighting those on fire. You basically have to do it while one of them is still burning, because you need the fire to dry out the other ones that you plan to burn. And then as you're doing it, there's 2 doors. There's one here and there's one here. As you walk out here, and you can see over the wall, you can see over this wall sort of into the city, or, if you look this way into the lake, you see that there's light on the bridge. And, you got those keen elven eyes. You can see that there's not just light on the bridge. Like, those are surfacers. It's not the group that you came with, but it's people. And as you're sort of deciding that, hey, like, grouping with them is better than dying alone once you run out of bedrolls to burn, and you run over, you get to about here, and then you see the troll kind of climb up in front of you and charge the dwarf. So we will jump back over to the bridge, which is now the active scene, correct?
Yes.
It is. I
Yeah.
do not have any token vision.
You should have token vision.
I sure don't. I see a black square. Sorry,
Has-
rectangle.
Has vision and low light vision. How about now?
Neat. Yep, I can see now.
Okay, so the thing is that you don't have any light, but you see light ahead of you. Navigating the bridge might be treacherous, but once you get to sort of this area, at least you'll be able to see. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. So with that kind of out of the way, I will now add you to the round. So you'll be going at your the initiative that you rolled, and we will start with let's see. Oh wait, go back. We will start with Corley, who cannot make it to the creature. She will move. She can move to about there, which I believe is oof. Sharut and Zarak, and probably Lumio. Looks like you're probably close enough for this. You say Corley walk up to here, raising her hand like she intends to get close enough to hit the creature with her sword, and then she just draws her sword down across her own chest. Like, she just makes a line from like her shoulder to about the middle of her sternum.
Oh, that's not good.
So seeing that, I think Forsidna would probably not necessarily move up to engage, but will stand right there and defend. Lumio, it is your turn. You can now see both monsters.
That I didn't want to see them. I wanted them to not exist before I got to see them.
But here's the thing.
Oh.
You can see them.
Oh, bummer. I am going to spend a what's that distance? That is outside of my normal range. Yeah, I'm going to spend a spell point. I want to throw down another totem. This one using a spell point to concentrate on rather than me doing it. And it's going to be the courage one that I used last week.
Okay. And what does this one do?
I don't have the
Not with that attitude, you don't.
totem of courage, I believe is the
You must spend a spell point to create a totem of courage. You and your allies get a +1 competence bonus to attack rolls and +1 morale bonus to saves against. Nice. And sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's 2 spell points. Because I don't want to concentrate on that one. I'll concentrate on the one that does the +2 to.
Okay.
Yep.
So I will put another one right there. You have 2.
And I realize that's a thing that uses magic, so I should probably roll a wild magic thing.
Yes, you should probably roll that before we put it down totally.
Yep. There it goes.
You're good.
So we're good. Want to change its type to fire?
Man, some of the War Sphere wild magic stuff is like insane.
Yeah.
Some of them are real good. All right. So that's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Tercia, you are way up here.
Mhm.
You see the troll engaging with Dandarin down below. What would you like to do?
I would like to carefully get over there.
Okay,
Uh,
go ahead.
That's it.
Okay, so if you basically move at regular speed, you're fine. If you try to run or charge, so like if you take a move action and then a move action, you can move at your regular speed.
Okay. I'd like to move, regular, like 30 foot or 60 feet this way.
Okay, so that would be like that.
Sure.
Okay.
Doing that, I'm going to pull out my chakram.
Alrighty, and you can do that with no issues. Zarakt, you saw what just happened to Corley. You see that the Umber Hulk is still prone, and Dandarin is tangling with the troll, who I just realized I forgot to roll attack rolls for last round. Womp womp.
No, he fell.
He was just so stunned, someone hit him with a brace attack.
Oh my god, that must be what pain feels like. I don't like that.
There's really only one chance that she's gonna be able to pull this off. So Zarakt is gonna move forward.
Okay.
She's gonna walk.
Each of these are difficult terrain. These three.
She is walking through Forsidna. So,
Oh, okay.
so that is 5, 10, 15, 20.
So when you get, one sec, here, to that square, can you please roll me a will save? You're good.
Zarakt gets to there and explodes.
That makes sense. I get a reflex save, correct?
Nope, there is no save against it. It takes 12 damage.
That is nonsense.
We actually
That's
touched on this previously.
Favorite kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if
ability
it's AoE, there's usually a save.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't like it, but it's neat.
I get it every 5 rounds, man. Come on.
Every 5 rounds is not that rare.
That's it. That's at
That
least
happens once at least
once
in
a
this fight.
combat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's once a combat. If I can get to a point where people do not surround or me, or so like situations. A reflex save once a combat would basically shut down the ability for fast.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, it looks unhappy.
I believe that.
It screams in pain and like is angrily clicking towards you. Just click.
Mm-hmm.
And Dandarin, it's your turn, sir.
Step up and aim at the troll, and let's see if I can give him a good old taste of pain one more time.
The pow.
And yes, this will once again be my standard of Fedge's claws.
All right. A 19 will hit the ice troll. And
Alright.
you're hitting one of his claws. Okay.
Yep, so he will take 9 damage, and he's at a -2 on attack checks.
Okay. That will be a good amount of damage.
10 damage, because I'm going to modify this right now, because I keep forgetting to. I don't have it listed as a magic weapon, so it's not getting the +1 properly.
Yeah, I think it's because you're rolling the thunderous blows instead of rolling like the weapon. So you might have to set up, as annoying as it would be, you might have to set up a different thunderous blows for each weapon.
That is exactly what I have to do,
Okay.
and what I am doing. So I'm modifying the
So
formula.
you said it's
now.
10 damage
Yeah.
total?
It is 10 damage, and now I've modified the formula.
I should
so
move
it'll
it.
be correct from now on.
I should move that to 24 instead of just 4. I mean, I guess.
Oh god, he heals so much.
He's real easy to hit, but man, his regeneration, it's off the charts. Delian, you saw Dandarin just put 2 big axe swings to this dude. What would you like to do? Travis, if you're talking, you're muted.
Yes, I was doing some tests, and that's why. Obviously, it didn't work.
You sound like a robot from the 1940s.
I didn't want to dash your hopes and tell you that it didn't
Yeah,
work.
I'm glad that you identified that rather than us having to do so.
I'm just going to take
Oh,
this as this is what has happened to Delian in this city.
Help me. I'm shifting between worlds.
Oh, wait. I have something for shifting between worlds.
The pain, immeasurable.
Yeah.
Cannot go.
Oh
You
man,
can't keep your shadow open. You have to wave dash it. Wave dash it.
Look,
Overall, just a very upsetting experience I'm experiencing right now. Thank you for bearing with me.
yeah, it's cool, man. Sorry about that. What would you like to do on your turn?
Cry a whole lot, then move forward and hopefully get to a position to flank here fairly soon.
Okay. So you move to there. That's actually a good spot for you to stop. So are you just moving to there, and then you're gonna stop there?
Well, I could drop a sphere of darkness,
You could,
but that would hinder Dandrin,
So
and trolls can probably see in the dark, so it wouldn't really help me much.
yeah. So the thing is, given that it climbed out when it was still in completely outside of the light, you could probably guess without me even having to have you give a knowledge local.
I know.
This thing
Like,
can
it-
see just fine.
Yeah, he can see just fine. So sphere of darkness, like there's no reason. So I'm just gonna try to get there, and then try to flank at some point soon.
Okay, sounds good. Then I
I
will.
was just a ways off.
That's cool. I will move to the next person. Good luck in your technical troubleshootings.
There is no hope. I am so sorry for the rest of the stream.
It happens.
Look, it's fine. You can be the underwater robot this week.
I'm just,
Look, so long as you remain on this plane, I'm not too worried about it.
well, it bugs. Like, I'll have you know, this is part of like my revenue. It bugs me to no end.
Just
It
every
also-
time it's your turn, I'm going to put on the predator filter.
Related, it sounds like your mic has bugs to no end. Also, so
Yeah, it certainly does. Let me tell you, it's gonna get a good thrashing.
Yeah, it actually sounds like it got worse during your troubleshooting. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
it really does.
Fucking cool.
like I'm not trying to say it to be funny. Like, it legitimately sounds like it got worse. So,
Oh no, trust me. Let me tell you, pisses me off.
if you need to borrow a mic and you're willing to drive to Kirkland, I've got like 6 spares, and
It's what I think it is my because my mic and cable are hand me down.
if you
I
need to
think
borrow a
the cable
cable,
is
I've
free.
got like 6 spares.
Do you have
Sure.
the 3-prong like a proper like?
XLR. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does. I
Yeah,
can vouch for his stuff.
yeah.
So can I. I've seen it.
I would gladly loan you a thing. Like, you could drive over tonight, and or something like
might.
that. And
I just might because this is infuriating.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll drive over tomorrow morning with a couple of spares too.
yeah,
Oh, you have
Uh,
XLRs also.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying.
Because
Depending on
I
how the night goes, it might be that I go over to John Eric's. It might be that you need to drive over here.
yeah, I bought all of the equipment to do this as like a podcast in person,
Mhm.
and then just basically couldn't be fucked to learn how to use a mixer.
Well, and I know how to do that, and I know I can fix that for you. I also have an XLR coming Monday, but that does not help me today.
Yeah, that sucks, man. I'm sorry.
Well,
Yep.
no one expected this, especially me.
Travis.
So
all I can
so
recommend-
there's an alternate thing that might work here, because this has happened to one of the players in my Witcher game. I don't know if you have Discord on your phone, and if you have good like phone earbuds or something like that, but you might be able to remove the voice part from the computer and just do voice through your phone.
I mean, I could definitely do that.
Yeah, like if I'm fine with it, but if you want to, that's fine too.
All right. Well, we'll see what's up. I'll try it, and we'll see if it works.
Sounds good. Next. That was a long long deviation. Apologies. We will go to the Umber Hulk, who is going to hate Zarak as a free action, and then
He's getting a lot of miles out of that free action, I gotta say.
yeah. 1 second here.
what sphere is that?
Hate is just all encompassing for any monster in a game with Justin.
Is it any monster or any character?
Yeah, whatever.
I applied it on anything deemed an antagonist.
Tables, chairs, just whatever. Justin, I am going to make a trio of attacks against you.
He is away at the.
Oh,
Sounds like flat-footed to me.
well, I'm still gonna roll them. This is the claw, and the bite. I don't think
That's
all.
unfortunate.
I don't think all of them hit, but they might have. Hold on, let me look at Justin's AC.
I think first 2 hit, but the second or the last one.
Uh,
I think.
no, they all hit.
Well,
Uh,
welcome back, Justin. You're dead.
So, I'm gonna roll the damage, and the other one is going to be. This was a very perfect time to like not leave. Mike, that's a good Umber Hulk fact there in the chat.
Yep, you're welcome.
Because there's a challenge rating 14 Umber Hulk called the Truly Horrid Umber Hulk with a charisma of 15, and I've known people that have played paladins with lower charisma than that.
So in 3.5, I was playing a monk, and like an Umber Hulk just crawled out of a tunnel or something, like grappled my monk, and they said make a fort save, and I failed. And they're like, all right, you get eaten, you're dead.
What the fuck? All right,
and it left.
let me erase the first letter of this dude's name. I guess I'm no longer playing Thomas. I'm now playing Dramus.
No, I played a different character after that. I was like, all right, whatever, sure. That's
Yeah,
the game.
that's some Gygax shit right there, where you're just like, well, I guess I die.
The funny thing is, I went and looked up the monster after. I was like, holy shit, this Umber Hulk has 18 charisma.
Yeah.
Who is this Umber Hulk talking to?
Whoever the fuck he wants to.
Other Umber Hulks?
All right.
All the other.
So, Sharut, since you're the one that's close enough to see this, you see the Umber Hulk just lay into Zarak. Just big sweeping claws, huge mandibles. It's kind of comical because it's nowhere near the size that you know that an Umber Hulk should be. This thing is only slightly taller than Dandarin, and your normal Umber Hulk is like 10 feet tall at the shoulder. But it's just so yeah. And Travis said he thinks he fixed it. Travis, get back in here.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay? No pop.
You sound absolutely
You
perfect.
sound great.
Wow, you sound real good. Also,
Yeah.
You look great.
Dude,
you're looking
these
good,
shower
sir.
of compliments, I don't know what to do with.
Look, Travis, I think you
deserve
probably, and I don't know this for certain, I'll test next time we meet each other, but I think you probably smell good.
Dude, let me tell you, I actually got told today I smell pretty good. Like, too many compliments in one day.
I'm not sure of this statement, but I can feel that it's pretty accurate.
Noah, I swear to God, if you comment on flavor.
No.
Or if fucking avoid that goddamn Noid, you
Travis,
sack of garbage.
Travis, I think you would give wonderful hugs.
He does.
I do.
Travis, I'm fairly certain you
Andy.
can avoid the Noid.
Funny enough, I'm so good at avoiding the Noid, didn't know they even existed until last week.
Well done, sir. But
I
now
mean, when
you
saw
know.
it
And
go with it.
okay, so the Umber Hulk is tearing into Zarak.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Sounds like fun.
the Ice Troll is going to do his damnedest to tear into the two guys that have a racial bonus to armor class against trolls. So, I got a bite and 2 claws, and one of my claws is very wounded. So I will go bite first. Bite first, Eric. Regular claw, Eric. Wounded claw, Eric. So I believe I got 1 claw in on you.
Well, is he a giant?
He is a giant. Does a 22 still miss you?
Yes, because you need a 23. Wait. Further clarification. Can he hit Delian?
From where he is, yes.
Then yes 23.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
no, he cannot hit Delian. He can maybe hit Delian.
Yes. He can hit.
Oh,
he can hit
Delian.
Delian. He can hit Delian because he has 10-foot reach. So,
Yes.
so it's not a 24.
yes.
It is a 23, and he still missed.
Satchel.
This
Delian
is why I
Delian's other
knew
brother.
I knew as soon as I
He
put
makes
up
sandwiches.
an ice troll that you guys were gonna be like, what the fuck? And I was like, I'm never gonna hit Dandarin. I'm just never gonna do it. So, Sharut, it is your turn. You just saw an attempted murder. Well, you saw an attempted murder following an explosion.
All right. Move action. action, we will make another poison, and
Okay.
we'll apply it to a bolt.
Sounds good.
And I will load one of my crossbows with a healing salve.
Okay.
One shot is going at Zerect, and then the shot with the bolt and the flashbang is going at the Umber Hulk.
Man,
Just
I
don't mix them up.
really,
Gonna
really
poison
hope you
Zarek,
fuck
huh?
him up.
Oh wait,
Sharut,
what have I done?
Sharut, if you want 2 hero points, you mess it up. Nope,
Does
already
that
rolled.
hit that hits your touch AC, right, Justin?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, go ahead and roll your healing.
Take 4 damage.
Take 4 damage and heal 1d8. That's going to be a total of 1 damage. I'm real sorry about how this worked out.
You heal 8 points of damage.
I'll take that.
All
and
right.
then this one's to the Umber Hulk.
Ruin his day.
I hope I
Also
will.
He's
heal
got-
the Umber Hulk.
He's got
Oh, yeah.
big eyes.
You will
so-
hit.
He needs to make me 2 fortitude saves.
One of them is versus poison, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So, let me check my numbers. The first
second
one is the
one
poison.
is-
What's the second one?
The second one is the flashbang.
Okay.
So he is deafened and dazzled for 1d4 rounds.
Deafened and
I will roll
dazzled.
that now.
That's a -1 to attack and -4 to his initiative. So his initiative will go down to
Just for 1 round.
So being deaf
update
sucks.
combatant. Yeah, the main thing that it does is it gives him a -4 initiative. So he's last. He's last next round. This doesn't give him a new turn.
Yeah.
I mean, it should, but
No. No.
And how much damage did you do total? That's 8.
8 points of damage.
Okay. It does not like you.
Well,
it-
it's a good thing it can't hear me.
It does that screaming click of like. And next, top of the round is going to be Corley, and she will be able to advance, and she will advance, and she will miss. For Sidna, will move to here. Actually, oh shit, hold on. When she gets to there, for Sidna, will move to here, and Zerakt. She's trying to use her shield to help you out, but the ice is making it real treacherous. So you see her slipping around. You don't get a bonus from it.
No worries.
Lumio, it is your turn. Would you like to put down a third area of effect? Just keep
I
layering
do
them.
have 3.
I have other
do-
shapes. I can do cones. See?
Yeah, I can't. That's a me problem though. We'll work on it together, I'm sure.
I can do lines.
Ooh. You know what?
I put-
will do
I put down a
fine.
totem that only helps people at the cardinal directions.
a. Its range is 4 miles, which is
It's limited, but it's beneficial in a way.
It's 4 miles in this 5-foot line.
So stupid.
I am going to just maintain my totems. I
Okay.
think that's doing the best that I can. They're not within. I think my range is 30 feet. So otherwise, I'd start peppering
They are not within 30 feet of you, no.
because they're basically at the limit of my range, which means
Yeah.
bummer for me.
Sounds
So
good. All right, you maintain.
I'll
Tertia,
maintain halt.
Tertia, it is your turn. What would
It
you
is my
like to
turn.
do?
I'm gonna do. Oh, I can see.
Yeah, you get to a point where like there's actually some light on you. Dandarin, she's still outside of Dandarin's vision. However,
Hope I still can't see you.
Delian, can you give me a perception check?
Sure.
Delian, there's an elven woman right there. Yeah. You can see her. She basically just emerged from the darkness. Mike, would you like to describe Tertia?
She's a lithe elven woman with auburn hair and hazel eyes, holding a chakram.
She is. Whereas all of you were dressed for this weather, she is not.
Oh.
And has a billowing cloak.
Just very, very 1990s, constantly blowing in a wind.
I mean, it is a family cloak for a reason.
So Delene's going to take a mental note of that because he's currently fighting an ice troll.
Yeah.
And assume it's some sort of hallucination, because who would stay down here in the type of garb she is wearing until she gets closer?
That makes sense. Okay. Tertia, are you doing anything else? You have your chakram. Are you?
That was a double move to get there. So
Okay.
no.
Sounds good. After Tertia is going to be Zarakt. At the start of your turn, Zarakt, can you please give me
Yep.
a will save?
You bet I can.
Hey,
Does.
what would you like to do?
Zerakt is going to draw her morning star and attempt to puncture this bug's dirty shell.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow.
Let's not insult it.
That's with the bonus.
That will hit. And Justin, would you like to tell me a story?
Yeah, yes. What kind of story would you like?
That kind?
So Zerakt has moved forward and burst fire over this thing, seeing that the bodyguards have kind of moved into flank a beast that she's pretty sure they can't fight on her own. She's not a nice person necessarily, but she feels like she owes these guys something, and that drives her to heights in heroism. And so while this thing is kind of like struggling on the ice, she grabs the very end of one of its mandibles and just lifts the head up, and with the end of her morning star, a heavy spiked mace just slams upward into the mouth and jaws of the thing, crumpling its head from the bottom up.
Yeah, a big uppercut with the morning star. It goes down in a sort of cracking exoskeletal heap, and you have slain the beast. So I will leave that one there. And so that was a standard action. Did you have anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I did need to draw the morning star.
Oh, okay. There you go. Then I guess it'll be Dandarin.
Well, golly gee jeepers, I wonder what I'm going to do.
Set for a charge.
Brace for charge.
I brace for charge.
You can only farm
No.
0 points off that so many times.
I'm going to hit the beast, and I'm going to hit him in his other claw.
Okay.
But I won't.
Was it a bad roll? Yeah, that was a bad roll.
Yeah.
You take a big swing at it. Actually, what happens, instead of you just not hitting, you take a big swing at it, and you see that you just, like, slam in. It crushes the bone, and you pull out, and it kind of, like, shakes its hand, like that sort of slightly hurt, and you just see the wound just back together.
I hated that noise.
Don't like that.
Oh no, his healing's a schlup noise.
He heals via schlop.
He heals via plunger noise.
Delean, what would you like to do, sir?
Well, that was a jarring schlup noise of an experience. God, I
Delay
hate
and
it.
flank him and stab him in the butt.
Yeah, stab him in the butt. Great. Butt schlups? This is bad.
Butt schlups.
Go on to a
Schlupping that butt.
Please.
This is bad.
Why are you
You know you've done something right when Mike says that.
No, it feels really good. Man, I'm gonna have to find a way to flank, so I'm gonna try to do some acrobatic. So here's a question for the ignorant me. If I try to go here, do I have to do an acrobatics check for here and here?
So, you have to do an acrobatics check to move through any threatened square. Basically,
So
to
it is.
leave any threatened square, and not take the attack of opportunity.
So I actually have to move here.
So, for example, well, here's the thing: you are currently in a threatened square.
Yeah, so I know I'm gonna be taking potential unless I do a 5-foot step.
Yeah, if you do a 5-foot
Right?
step, if you're trying to get into flanking, you could always do I'm going to make an acrobatics check, and I'm just going to go, like, this way, and then I'm going to make another acrobatics check and go to here.
Okay, so I can do that. I can make just 2 to
Yeah.
go here and here instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, like basically, the way an acrobatics check works is it halves your speed, but if you succeed, you get to move without taking any attacks of opportunity.
Okay, that's what I needed to.
So your normal speed as a gnome, I believe, is 20.
Is 20.
So
Yes, 20.
yeah. So you would move. Basically, you would move 10 feet.
Okay.
you would go like that.
Yeah.
And then you
And
would
then I'd
make
have to
another
do
check
another.
to go there.
Cool. But that would be my full round because
Yeah.
that's double move.
And if you fail either of them, he gets to make an attack of opportunity.
I mean, where's the adventure if I don't do it?
Alternatively, you could just move there, get hit, like let him make the attack. If he misses, that's his only attack, I assume. Trolls generally don't have combat reflexes.
He's a really high dex troll.
That would be absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Groundbreaking.
the other option that you have is to just be like, you know what, fuck this, walk, and just like walk that way,
And then hit
just, and just try to dodge the attack of opportunity.
I mean, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so like I told the guys south of you, this square, like basically all of these squares with the stuff in them are going to be difficult terrain.
Difficult terrain. Yeah, of course.
So if you have a 20-foot movement, you could go like let's see, this is 20, so that's 20. If you want to actually get in fully into flanking with him, it's going to be a double movement for you, just because you're a gnome and gnomes have low speed.
Yeah,
Couldn't he squeeze underneath the troll?
So it's still no, because you can't normally move through an enemy's threatened square. You can do it with an acrobatics check, but if he takes the acrobatics check, he's only moving at half speed.
Right. Makes
And
sense.
half speed is only going to get him to either this square or this square. So either move.
Either way, it's a full turn action for me to get into flanking position, regardless of what I do. So
Correct.
I might as well just go for it instead of trying to succeed at both and just try to dodge the hit.
So you basically just do the whole like, you know what? we're just gonna go right here.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Okay. He's gonna take a shot at you. And he's
Don't die.
It looks
I know,
like
and I get a defense against trolls.
yes, your
Or
AC
giant type.
your AC goes up by 4.
Yeah, okay.
So he's gonna use the bite because the bite is the one that he likes more.
Well, guess what?
That's
He
gonna miss.
bites nothing.
Okay, go ahead and put your dude right there. Cool. So you are now flanking with Dandarin, and Dandarin will get a +2 to hit. You will also get a +2 to hit. Next is going to be the ice troll, and I've got some choices here. And one of you keeps hitting me, and the other one looks softer and crunchier and slightly more delicious. So he is going to go for the rogue. So, Mr. the Rogue, that's a bite, that's a claw, and that's a claw. You do get +4 to AC. Let me know if any of those hit.
Oh, to hit me? I'm rolling against me?
Well, sorry, the troll is. I don't know why it didn't. Roll to hit yourself 3 times.
Let me see. First
I think
one.
these
So
bonus
3
ones are
times. The 22s are spot on, and I know ties go to the attacker. So
Yep.
2.
All right. So he will deal with the bite 6 damage,
Cool.
and with the claw also 6 damage. You take 12 points of damage as it just kind of like and like manages to get a good bite on you and a good claw on you.
That hurts very much.
And it bellows something out in a weird mishmash of goblin and giant.
I speak goblin.
So you hear basically every other word, and the kind of main one that you get is just eat.
Well, I color me surprised.
Fair. Yeah.
So, and at that point, you also see this thing happen, where as it's hitting you, there's just this kind of like sucking sound as the axe wounds it's been given to its chest, just start and healing back up.
Gross.
And it lowers 5 feet to the floor. Sharut, it is your turn.
All right. Sharut is going to right there, I believe.
Okay.
And, yep, he is going to expend his martial focus to make a sniper shot at the troll.
Sounds good. Roll it.
And that changes my die to a 1d10 if I do. He is out of my range, so he's at a minus. That's a -2, right?
Yes. If he's out of your range, you're at a -2. So that you know, it doesn't increase the die type. It says that you add a 1d10.
Oh,
You
cool.
increase the
Alright.
damage by 1d10. So you would roll whatever you normally roll plus 1d10.
Plus 2 plus. Oh no, he's not with. So it's still at him. All right.
So yeah.
Does a 12 hit?
No. So yeah, it just goes. Actually, Terzia would probably be able to see this. This arrow just goes kind of sailing sort of past the troll, and then it hits right here, and it makes this little like flash and this loud like "pah" sound.
Okay.
And then after that is Corley, who will move to here, and she says, "Zerakt, Fosina, are the both of you okay?"
Yes, I'm fine. You
Good.
seem to have fallen under its whatever effect it had on you.
It was very confusing. It made me feel as if I was my own enemy, but I will be fine. I have healing salves in my kit.
We'll rest up and we'll take care of creature further to.
And she moves off over to there. Forsidna will sort of stick by you. So basically, she's holding her turn until you move to move with you. And then Lumio, it is your turn.
All right then. Since it seems like we have one area where I need to focus, I'm going to move until I'm within range of my blast northward. I think that's I need.
Are you trying to get to 30?
Yeah,
You need there.
there we go. And I'm going to send off my, my favorite little electric blasty thingy.
A little.
Yeah,
Okay.
little
He
I know
isn't.
he's not wearing.
Yeah, he isn't wearing any metal, so it's just a normal attack roll.
Over here. This one. How
Uh,
does that work?
That will not hit.
Bummer. All right. Well, keep on
To
keeping
the-
on then.
And it's actually weird because like I was joking earlier where I was like, he's a highly dexterous troll. You actually see him literally be a highly dexterous troll. Like you see him duck and dodge around the bolt. And
I don't like that. But
after
there it
that,
is.
Tercia, it's your turn.
Gonna get. Oh, hang on. Need to make sure I actually have like the movement. I can double move there, or I can run like there.
It's your choice.
I'll run.
Okay. Please give me an acrobatics check when you get to here.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, that's a skill I have.
You are actually okay. You can move the rest of the way. So I believe your total was going to be right there.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Dandrin, you now see it. She's close enough that everybody who is looking this way, except for maybe like Zerakt, who I think is still sort of like looking at the Upper Hulk for the moment. But everybody looking this way sees the elven woman running up behind Delian and the troll. Dandrin, Dandrin, can you give me a quick perception check?
Sure.
You do have a troll obscuring most of your vision.
By God.
Yeah, you
She unusual stonework.
How did you know?
You also see her. Cool. That is your whole round there, Mike. So I will move on to Zerakt. Justin.
All right. I am going to double move north.
Sounds good. And Forsidna will allow me to click the token with you. And Zerakt, can you give me a perception check and a -2? 1 second. All right, and that's the end of your turn because you double moved. So we will go Dandrin.
Alrighty.
Dandrin,
Him.
what would you like?
Well, I would like to flank and beat up this troll, specifically its claw. Hey, and I will do 14 damage.
Wow, that's a
It's a bit.
Sorry, 16 damage because of the aura.
got it. There might be a way to code like a thing that that you guys would be able to click on. That would be like when this is clicked on, everybody gets +2 damage. I don't know how
It's
to do
actually
it,
just
but I'll
it's
look
in the
into it.
buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could click it under the buffs and it would do it.
Well, I've applied the damage. The problem is that because of how my thing
it's
works,
the weird
I have to break
Sunray
down
thing.
the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you do that to its claw, correct?
Yes, so it's a -2 to attack with the weapon.
Okay, sounds good.
Can.
And then top of the round is going to be Delian. Remember, Deline, you are at a +2 to hit because you are flanking, and if you hit, you get to add your sneak attack.
Sure sounds like a good thing. So I'm going to try to like Deline is seeing this regeneration. I don't think he's ever encountered a troll before. But
Probably
he sees what's
not.
happened. Doesn't mean he's not going to try though.
Yeah.
And you said +2 to it.
Yeah.
So that means. Mind you, he just got the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah. So like he just kind of half-heartedly like swipes and
Yeah.
and this thing is like this thick kind of sagging skin with these like chunks of ice in parts, and it just like you swing it and it just hits an ice crystal, makes a little like tink sound.
Yeah, that's definitely that seems to track.
Yeah. Okay. I guess next turn is going to be the ice troll. So the ice troll is here's the thing. Dandarin is an issue, but you are a treat. You are delicious.
I don't think I am.
So it is going to attempt to eat you to death.
Nom nom. Nom 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 nom.
And I didn't hit with any of those. So
And
it
you
just
didn't hit
like
with any of
it
those.
just comes at you with a flurry of teeth and claws, just eat, and you're just like no. I learned.
You know, what was that deity that Deline got introduced to?
I don't know.
Remember that trickster thing in the festival?
Oh,
Oh,
the
Metroline.
Metroline.
Yeah. He probably did that whole thing. Look,
Yeah.
the Metroline, and the troll went.
So did the elf.
The elf behind you goes here. Sharut, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Sharut's gonna move to here. Swift action scout.
Scout, yeah, go ahead and roll. It's a knowledge local because trolls are humanoids.
Nope.
No idea. Who's ever even heard of a troll? They can't be that common.
What's a troll?
Yeah.
I mean, I know of the internet troll, but
So you moved, you scouted. What would you like to do now?
pew pew.
Oh, pew, and then follow that up with an additional pew.
You know what? I will do that. I will
Okay.
do just that. Okay.
That's a lot of pew. I don't know.
And then-
The 11 will miss.
Mhm.
The one that you rolled will also miss. All right.
All right.
I think that's your turn. So we're gonna go to top of the round is Corley, who will move up, and then it'll be Forsidon is actually behind Zeract now. So she Lumia, it is your turn.
I'm gonna do that shooty thing again. So first I roll wild magic, which doesn't happen.
Okay.
And then I shoot him in the face, which
Uh,
that might happen. First touch.
is that counting the +1 from your own totem?
I no,
His
because the
totem-
courage one is different. That's right.
Yeah, his
So
totals
no.
aren't counted.
So it is a 17.
with the +1 from your totem, yes.
Hey, all right. I'm gonna roll 2 damage.
All right.
Worth it.
Just real
Wow.
quick, Dandarin, fuck you. I believe this is all your fault. Not you, Eric. Your character.
I don't know how you did this, Dandarin, but I've never had to fight a troll until you led me across the bridge.
I've done no such thing, I think. Did I?
All right. Top of the round, or not top of the round. Next person, Tertia.
I mean, you could keep saying that.
Yeah,
It's just not
sure.
me.
Top of the round is
It's always-
Corley. Top of the round again. It's going to be Corley. Top of the. Tertia, it's your turn.
Well, just gonna be like, where? First of all, where's the Metroline? Second, do you want me to help?
Will you?
I can try.
All right.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm using my chakram. Gonna snipe.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
I want to make sure I got my math right.
I really like that we have two, quote, snipers in the group, and one of them's using hand crossbows and the other one has a chakram.
Yeah.
Oh, is this one of those, like,
Eberron.
famed longbow snipers? No. We throw bladed rings at people. Okay, your bladed ring resoundly hits. Please roll damage.
Okay.
Does a chakram really do a D8?
Yep.
Oh,
Jeez.
lordy.
Jeez Louise.
All right.
Lord.
Okay, bonus question. Do you have the talent that makes thrown weapons come back to you?
I do.
Oh, great. So yeah, what you guys see is basically this like thing come out, bounce off here, and then like from there to here, and then back to her hand.
Fancy.
I was gonna say, like, does it just immediately come back, or does it do
The end of
capture
my
bearer
turn.
thing?
At the end of her turn. So she chucks it. It hits. It cuts a nice slice across the thing's upper torso because it's facing her because of Dillian, and then it bounces off one of the pillars of the bridge and then comes back. And after Tertia is going to be Zaract. It's your turn.
Zerect is going to move up and draw her crossbow. That's it.
All right. Frisina will take her turn right after you and move up behind you. Actually, she will move up to there and then put herself right. And after Forsina is going to be Dandarin.
What to do? Stab and bones connect to you. What missed? Yeah.
The stab bone's connected to the troll bone. And Dillian, Dandarin took a big swing at the thing, and like you see the axe just kind of like this troll is surprisingly nimble. It dodges to the side, the axe misses, and it's just locked eyes with you as the most delicious person of the party.
Well, I might. This sucks. Big one. What's around me?
A troll. There's a troll, an elf, and this sort of looks like broken down, like it was kind of a wagon, maybe. It's really broken down and just iced over.
Okay.
There's also the bridge, which the border of the bridge is about 2 feet tall, and every now and then there's a pillar. So there'll be like a pillar here and a pillar here and a pillar here.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then on top of the pillars is like sort of another layer of that same kind of like runner.
So, in this like pile of detritus, just doing a quick glance, does it look like any of it could be movable?
Not quickly or without a sufficient amount of work. There's a lot of ice there.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I did the quick glance. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stab.
All right, go ahead and stab. Make sure to add your +2.
Of course, I will. I almost rolled a 1d30, and as much as I would really like to, that's not how that works.
That's gonna miss.
Honestly, not surprised.
Yeah. Do anything else?
Can I do a 5-foot step after a fight?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, you can take a 5-foot step as a move action.
Because, let me tell you, I'm gonna be. Looks like backup sort of come. No, I'll stay. I'll stay and fight. It's just me and
Are you sure?
doing this. Yeah, like everybody's ranged, but Dander.
I mean, do you need to switch out? I don't mind going melee.
nah. You trust me. In combat right now, you wouldn't be saying that. Like Dillian, this is quick thinking. Dillian would stay in.
Okay, Dillian stays. Because Dillian has stayed, and because he looks so delicious, chomp and then swipe and then swipe.
Right.
I believe the swipe and the swipe both miss. The chomp though,
Chomp does.
chomp does hit.
Chomp hits.
So let me go ahead and roll that damage. Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, man. Sure. As I just get fucking insta-gibbed. Let's
my
just
God.
make up a new character. And that gets insta-gibbed because of the carryover damage.
Delian,
You just made it fast.
All right,
Delian explodes into a cloud of blood, and Dirax is
What's
like,
happening to me, Travis the player? I'm getting gibbed.
I didn't.
all right. Actual damage, 10.
One last question: how did you get 668 feet in the air, Travis?
Uh, you know,
The fall damage is gonna kill him.
that
I mean, we're
Skyrim,
not surviving.
that Skyrim giant glitch.
Yeah,
I got
physics
hit with
engine.
one. I got hit with one of them.
Yeah, you got physics engined. Okay, so
now I'll tap out.
yeah, it comes in with the swipes, and it's just not able to connect. And then because you're kind of busy dodging the huge claws, it then just chomps down on your shoulder.
God, Louise.
So Are you still up?
Yeah.
Well done. Sharut, it's your turn. Oh, wait, hold on. Before that,
Say that yet.
and you just see that same sort of as its body is continually mending itself. Sharut, it's
Okay.
your turn.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Move, action, create a special poison.
Sounds great.
First shot is going at Dillian, and second one is going at.
Okay. That's fine. Where you are right now, Delian has cover.
Okay, then in that case, I can't use my move action to make a special poison.
You have the sniper spear, right?
I do.
He has precise shot.
So he has precise shot, so he would ignore the in melee bonus. But like
Right.
he is a small character behind a large character.
But I am also a small character.
That doesn't matter. Like he's
Yeah,
blocked.
that makes sense.
He is fully on the other side of a giant.
If I move here, would that be good?
If you move to there, yeah.
Oh, no, that would put me in. That would put me in his
No, it wouldn't.
threat range, right?
No, it's 15.
Okay, cool.
So
Okay.
if you move to there, yeah, that would be fine.
I'll move there. Yeah.
Yeah, if something's fully on the other side of the big guy, that's going to be some cover.
I'm assuming that
yeah.
hits.
You managed to peg Delian.
I
Exciting.
Right. Just another
Right in between the
spit on
eyes.
my
just put him
corpse,
out
why
of his
don't ya?
misery. I just put him out of his
647.
misery.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for the low cost benefit, for the low
No,
benefit,
Dillian's worth
of-
nothing.
of-
Don't even.
for the low benefit of 2 hero points. just just
2 hero points. you
just
say.
mix
Take,
up the crossbows.
Take the shot.
Take the shot. All right, Delian heals 8. Go ahead and roll your attack against the troll.
I will do just that. Yay!
All right, that will hit, and that is 8 damage.
8 damage, and please make me a fortitude.
Oh, that thing that trolls are historically known to be bad at.
Yeah.
Oh yes. You never know.
It's an agile troll, so maybe.
Oh my god.
All right. So immediate action. I regain my
Oh,
martial
yeah.
focus.
Okay.
Yep.
And he is
He is definite dazzled.
deafened and dazzled for 2 rounds.
Okay.
Sweet.
His initiative will drop to 4. Meaning that he goes after you.
Turn 2, Dillian.
Next turn, Delian. All right.
Well,
Top of the round, Ice Troll.
Corley will move up next to Zoract. Lumio, it is your turn.
All right. I'm gonna shoot him. First, we're going to roll wild magic. Nada. And then attack.
Nope, that's not gonna do it.
Bummer.
All right, and after Lumio is going to be Tercia.
All right, getting used to hearing that name now. I'll move up a little bit
Okay.
and then shoot my shot.
I require that.
Okay.
Tercius-
It's gonna make an attack of opportunity against you.
Oh, I'm in range. Okay.
Does an 18 hit you?
It does.
Okay. 6 damages.
Ouch.
I require that Tercius chakram be named these hands, or just
It's not.
hands. Catch
not.
these hands. That
It's
was
not that.
Please
That's
catch
not
these
what it's
hands.
called.
it could be.
It's not,
Uh,
okay.
It's not what it's called. Stop trying to make
and
the thing.
then an 18 will hit the ice troll. So please roll damage.
Okay.
Was that a snipe attack as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm always going to make snipe attacks with this.
Okay. Do you automatically re-get your martial focus because you have to expend it to do snipe?
You are correct. Never mind. Remove the D10.
Okay. So with the D10 removed, that is 2
It's 2.
damage. So with that in mind, Mike, tell me a story.
Like it gets stuck in its eye or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Fucking terrible story.
Wow.
Terrible.
Wow.
I'm not a
Like everything in your
storyteller.
life.
That's why I let John do the GMing.
You
You're right.
Ugh.
you throw the chakram, and the chakram just kind of like thwomps into its eye, and then you see it just like slump over, and it hits the ground. Yeah. All right, everybody. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna retrieve my chakram.
Okay,
I'm gonna slump to the floor.
sounds good.
Sharut is gonna immediately go over to Dillian.
Okay, sounds great. Zarak, do you do anything?
Zirax will also get in line for when Shrewd is done.
Sounds good. All right. So, Dendron, you doing
Just
anything?
get closer to the group.
Dendron?
I don't want. He is muted.
Dendron is muted.
Okay.
Enderin
He's
continues
away
to
at the
mute
moment.
himself.
Yeah,
He
he's away.
he burbed. Okay. So,
Turned into a bird and left.
the troll stands up
Yeah.
and there's new people around. Sharut, you will have been able to heal one person. Who did you pick?
Dillian.
Roll your heal.
Okay.
Now, just to be clear, that troll is prone, right?
Yeah, like I said, it stood up.
Cool. That would provoke, wouldn't it?
From who?
From Dendron?
Enderon's not here.
Dendron's not here.
All right, that's fair.
Delian is here.
Delian, yeah.
Delian sat down. I imagine he didn't.
Delian's prone too.
I imagine he didn't sit down with a knife at the ready. The thing
That's true.
died, and he sat down.
Dillian, you healed 18 points.
Oh, that's very lovely.
Wow.
Wow, that might be enough. Mr. Prone Delian.
Yeah.
You might want to get up.
So, with if you are flat-footed, can you tell me if a 16 hits you if you're flat-footed?
Is he swiping?
So basically, he stood up and then looked around him, sort of slow, like he's a little bit dizzy, and he stands up and he looks around and sees you and sees Sharut like healing you, and he just sort of lazily bends over, and you hear that as his jaws just snap together.
Man, why is this a thing? There's a goblin right there. Historically tastier.
Well, you're close. Look how close you are.
Demonstrably false.
That's very false.
The fact that you think a gnome is tasty is false too.
I mean, you have all
tried
that
gnome?
colorful hair.
Have
So-
you tried goblin? You sick bastards. Okay, yeah, it hits.
Okay, he is going to hit you. He will hit you for 10 damage.
Fuck off with this.
All right, and top of the round, Corley.
Is he still deafened and dazzled?
I mean,
Because that was only one round.
yeah, he's still deaf and dazzled.
Cool.
All right, Corley is going to. Oh wait, hold on. Hovered by anyone. There we go. Corley is going to move up and take an attack of opportunity, which will miss, and she will try to swing at the creature, and she will miss as well. After Corley is Lumio. It's your turn. The big thing just stood up right in front of you, and then you heard a big kind of like chompy sound, and then you heard a scream from the gnome.
All right. So I'm gonna do that old shift magic.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna roll with at a 60 for this wild magic surge, and I believe
Okay.
that means that goes off because I wanted to switch it to fire.
Okay.
Because I think I've got enough kind of kill it with fire instinct in me.
You can actually roll me a knowledge local.
Oh, that's right, I can.
Yeah.
I have that. Let me.
It's
double check what my
especially now
knowledge
that
local
you've seen
is.
this happen. The whole like,
Yeah.
oh shit, trolls. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You
Well, that's pretty good.
you totally know that trolls regenerate unless introduced to acid or fire. Now that's a normal troll. Ice trolls might be a little bit different, but considering that it's ice, fire's probably good.
Yeah.
So anyway, you rolled your D100. You got on the chart. Can you please roll another D100 to see what you get on the chart? Because if what you get is like change the thing to something else. 45, increase the effects damage die by 2 steps. So if you hit, you will be doing D10s instead of D6s. Please make an attack roll against the
Nice.
troll.
Okay.
This will hit. And because
Good.
it already did an attack of opportunity on Corley, it can't even swing at you.
Don't get 2 damage again.
Please roll
Let's see
2D.
the 2 damage on 2d10.
Please roll
I mean, it
2d10.
kinda doesn't matter. But... Oh,
Oh my god,
There we
18. So the way something with vulnerability reacts to the thing that they're vulnerable to is that they take that damage half again. So instead of 18, you actually did 27.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And now it is not just unconscious, it is dead.
Nice.
There's fire.
Wait. Hold on. I have an important question here.
Yeah, what's up?
Does the smell of cooked troll remind Zarak of any meals she's had recently?
The smell of cooked troll.
She's got 20 sausages of grist in her back. Fine, upstanding sausage in her back.
No, because the thing about grist is that grist is actually spiced so that you can't taste the troll.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. That
So
was an
like,
important question. I'm glad.
I mean, it smells the way that burning flesh smells, but it doesn't smell like your sausages because those sausages are spiced
And delicious.
and delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're actually out of combat.
Sharut is gonna like keep his weapons pointed at the troll for a minute, just kind of like,
Is actually dead now. Yes.
Hold on. So Dandarin's going to loot the bodies and then set them both on fire with some lamp oil.
There's no reason to set the Umber Hulk on fire.
Okay, you're down a lamp oil.
Yep.
And so the from both of them, they're not carrying anything of value. It's not like the troll is walking around with like, masterwork breastplate.
Did
Yeah.
it eat one recently?
No. However, Zarak, if you would like to give me a survival check, you
would.
can attempt to grab prime like plates or mandibles or something from the Umber Hulk if you would like.
I'm terrible at this, but sure, let's go.
Yeah. You are able, basically you're able to get the the head is just fucked, but you're able to get the relatively intact carapace from the forearms and the back,
Nice.
which probably not too good as a trophy, but probably pretty good as a crafting material if you're like insect chitin and like Umber Hulk chitin, Ankeg chitin. Those are the kind of things that druids from the Reaches tend to craft armor out of.
Mm-hmm.
So not too good as a trophy, but pretty good as a crafting material if it comes down to it.
Awesome.
You can make like a note. This one is too small to get much. With what you got, you could probably make like a breastplate for a small size character. So you do that.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, as soon as you're done, Dandarin dumps some oil on it, lights it on fire. Dandarin dumps a little bit more oil on the smoldering troll corpse. That's on fire as well. And while that's going on, Sharut, what are you doing?
Tercia looks like she's been down here for a while, right?
Oh yeah, she's like covered in like filth.
Yeah, well, yeah, she looks dirty. She looks sort of frostbitten. The only wound that she has is the one that she just got from the troll. But she does look very dirty.
I'm assuming she's also probably famished.
She's not asking you for food.
I mean, Sharut's gonna give her a good.
Okay.
That's
Would you like to? What is it? A D8 plus 3?
it is a D8 plus 3
Mike, would you please roll a D8 plus 3?
to a maximum of 13 over a given day.
And as Sharut hands it to her.
Oh hey, look at that.
So Tercia, the goblin hands you a berry and says, eat this. Do you eat it? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very hungry.
Okay, you are now full. This is a full day's worth of food in your belly at the moment. So you went from being like 3 days hungry to being like just got done at the buffet, and your wound closes.
Sharut suggests you stand next to smoldering corpse. Look cold.
No, that might be a little warm, but not for very long. Also, it smells really bad.
Fair.
Or
And-
delicious. Anyways,
doing-
who are you folks, and why are you down here? Also, do you have a map?
We have a map that's a work in progress.
Not detailed yet.
But it does have a way out?
Not yet.
I mean, we know the way.
I mean,
out.
technically, yes.
Well, that's more than I had yesterday, because the guys, people I came here with, well, the one that had the map, I assume he was eaten. He kind of just flew away with what appeared to be a cloak into the ceiling, and then I didn't hear from him again.
Flew away with cloak.
Sharut's gonna ask this as he tends. Wounds.
I'm pretty sure it was a monster. Don't know what it was. It looked like a cloak, but it just kind of grabbed someone by the neck and then flew away. But it was a gnome, so they just like, bye.
Would that be like a dungeoneering check?
You can give me a dungeoneering
Go ahead.
check, sure.
I think I might do the same.
Dillian, you're still really hurt, right?
Because I remember I had that good berry, I'm actually fine. But for role playing purposes, yes.
I would definitely take a check if you've got one. Sure.
Yeah, I'm getting close to halfway, so I don't want to use them all up, but I will give the next one to Zeract. You heal
Holy shit.
16 points of damage.
Yep, that's good.
That's in fact real nice. I like it.
It is super fun.
So,
What is how's a 15 on that check, by the way, down there?
A 15 on the dungeoneering? No idea.
No idea.
No. It's
some
just,
sort of creature.
Yeah, it's some sort of creature. Knowledge checks are usually 15 plus the creature's CR. You have no idea. So yeah. Let's see. And Lumio, I believe you are the only one with this skill. Can you please give me a knowledge nobility check?
Sure, I totally do.
So this woman is like dirty, but she is wearing an item that you know belongs to a noble house from Seer. It was, at the time of the destruction of Seer, probably the only elven noble house in Seer, because elves really don't give a shit about the kind of concept of like human nobility. But this house did. So you notice that basically it's the cloak, the sort of like
Long billowy cloak.
yeah, the billowy cloak with like the weird sort of iridescent scales that are on it. You like, as you kind of like round the creature, and once Dandarin kind of like gets out of the way and you see like Sharut like get done with her so she can stand up, you instantly recognize it.
I'm gonna need you to tell me what that is so I can react.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm typing it out to you.
Oh, okay. I will be patient.
Would Delian have heard of this house?
You probably would have heard of the house, like when somebody,
Probably not the
like
person.
when he says the house, but like I gave it to Lumio because he actually has the he had the skills for it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And I could roll it, but I'd be identifying myself, and I'm pretty sure I know who I am.
Who are you? I don't
Out
know.
there.
Let me roll.
I still don't know. And Tertia is a elf.
Tertia is an elf, yeah.
Oh, how unusual to see. Are you one of the Urwabos?
Yes. How did you know?
A good number of the group in front of you are actually, at least tangentially related to New Seer and to oh god, I'm blanking on his name, the ruler's name, Prince Orgev.
Well, then my luck has substantially improved. I thought you were just like raiders or like delvers or something, but if you're from Seer or New Seer, I should say, then I have a way home.
Indeed.
After we're done here, of course.
Of course. We're actually looking for objects that may assist us, and he's like trying to wander over to have a regular person-to-person conversation, face to face like you would. A normal.
Cersei is just maintaining her position because that's a power move.
Yeah. But yes, I would be happy to introduce you to the best of my ability on our return to New Seer, which should be in some days.
I mean, I'm relatively familiar with Orgev, but
no. Well, that makes that an easy thing to do.
there's not a whole lot of nobles in New Seer.
Indeed. Just really the one.
I need to apologize. My manners are atrocious. I've been living in here for, I think, 3 days. I am Tertia Irvobos, former Seeran noble, currently trying to fund my business venture. It's not going well.
And what is your venture, I wonder?
Well, have you heard of Aladra's Fickle Fancy?
No.
Then I assume Sidence is using the wrong name again. It's supposed to be a dance studio. Or dance school, excuse me.
I'm sorry. One of our former companions is more of the dancer than I. I will attempt to direct him to you when next we meet. So, but you say you've been down here for some time.
I
Have you-
came down here with a House Thrask expedition, and I think I might be the only one left.
Oh, that is most unfortunate. We know that there was a group that was readying for expedition a few days ago, but this is. Should we attempt to recover their bodies, or do you owe any allegiance?
I'm not part of House Thrask. I was basically hired help. They offered me a lot of money to collect kyber shards, and that is something that's in low supply.
Both of you
kyber
can
shards, dragon shards.
Both of you can give me a knowledge nobility roll on that, since the Dragdemarked houses kind of count.
Where did it go?
I don't
Here it is.
I feel like Shrewd's listening to them talk about carrying bodies. Shrewd is like,
Do not have manpower.
Yeah, Tertia, you know that the house will only care about dead heirs. And an heir doesn't necessarily have to be someone that is dragon marked, but somebody that's actually part of the house.
Right.
You and the other people that you were hired were basically hired as like day laborers, in a very dangerous job. The house
I think
will
everyone
not
here
give
was
a
a
shit.
contractor.
Unfortunate for them. Then a report is all that is necessary. But
Yeah,
we
I'd like
wish
to speak to anyone we can, but they're gone. They're gone.
chances are low given this place's affinity for strange magics. We are going to be venturing further in. It appears that you are not suitably dressed for this situation.
I'll be fine. Like I've been keeping warm in my little hidey hole, but if we can explore, that'd be much better. And then get the money we need and get out, or at least the
I see.
supplies.
Yes. Okay. We entered from the far side of this bridge, and we should probably, I suppose, look at your safe place for the moment.
Sure.
We can use it as a base of operations.
I
to
teleport over there.
So fast. We can use it as a base of operations as we begin to explore the caverns beneath.
Sure. Maybe.
A place to fall back to is generally considered a wise choice.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll work for that, but you know what? It sounds good to me.
If
Okay.
nothing else, we can stockpile goods there in order to create a warmer place to stay.
All right. So, from where you are, and this will mostly just be the lot of you seeing light moving off in the shadows. Can everybody please give me a perception?
Sure.
Hey, I did okay.
Okay. So,
Ligon closed his eyes.
yeah.
Yep.
Zoract and Delian both see nothing.
Interact is otherwise occupied.
Yeah. Dandarin and Dandarin, you only see this one thing. The rest of you see both of these things as things are happening. So Dandarin, as you're sort of like kind of venturing off this way to like burn that Umber Hulk body after Zoract pulls a couple things and you move back, you're realizing that basically every time a light gets kind of covered and like disappears and then gets reshown, you have that whole effect happen again. Like, and it's not always over the entire cavern. It's usually just, a little bit in this area around you. And as your eyes are kind of adjusting to the darkness, because, man, it sure is nice to be back in the darkness, and it would be even better if these people would stop waving these lights around. You see that over here, there is a little bit of light, but it's hard to see exactly what it is, because in addition to the light, there looks to be a lot of fog. So it's hard to really make out what's going on. The rest of you, in addition to seeing that, you see something up here. It's hard to tell exactly what it is. The main thing that you are able to see is that whatever it is, it has a sword that very briefly glows in the darkness, and you see it and you can tell that it sees you because you see two glowing blue eyes look at you before it goes into this building.
Cool.
And with that, Tertia, you are able to take everybody to where you've been hiding. So I will. Well, I wanna get the right ones. So I'm gonna go to the bridge real quick and copy these tokens, except for the troll, who we do not need anymore.
God, my hidey hole's been infested with trolls.
And then I will. What? And I believe you guys can't see anything, correct?
No,
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
So, Tertia sort of like leads you guys all up this embankment. There's 10 feet of difference between this area and this area, so it's like a 10-foot drop. You basically have to come to a point where you are climbing up to get on this platform. The stairs, I believe, are off this way. And then Tertia, the way that you've been getting in, because this door is locked and you don't know how to open it, is to climb this wall. And so
It's not graceful. I'm not that good at climbing.
yeah, it's more like you do this like running jump thing and you run up a couple feet and then you kind of try to grab the top. And on the third or so try, she gets it, and then you're on this little wall. And once you're up here, you can sort of see out this way because this wall is only about up to like it's a cover wall basically. You can take a chest. It's a chest
high wall.
It's a chest high wall to provide cover. Yeah. So that's where you lead them. I imagine that what happens at that point is that either Dandarin or Delian will spend some time picking this lock and opening the door, and then you are all brought into this place. And I will note that at this point, all of these bedrolls with a line through them are gone.
May
You
I
guys-
make a recommendation before we can?
Yeah. I was giving you a quick heads up, and then we're going to take a break.
Yep. That's my recommendation.
So I'm letting you all know. So this is what you see, and as you are all heading into here, we will take a quick break, and so I will see you all back in about 15 minutes or so.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
We go for the thing that gets us the most stuff. at
Go for the
minimal
thing.
of risk.
So we're gonna. I mean, the thing that gets us the most stuff is clearly Death's finger channel.
We cannot go there.
So we will jump back over to the map where everybody is, and so Tertia, you kind of climb over. About the time that you get it, you hear this click click, and then Delian, you have unlocked the door.
Yeah.
And so what you walk into appears to be this is probably where the Dakani used to keep slaves that were in this this city. At least one of the places for it. You see a number of bedrolls that looked they're sort of like cots almost that are sort of half frozen, half rotted. You see a number of bodies everywhere along here. That again, it's one of those things where it's like that's a lot of little piles, and the little piles of ice and snow are roughly person shaped. You don't necessarily need to uncover them, but if you did, probably bodies. This area right here is actually like when you open this door, it goes down a little bit, and if you want to get up to this this wall right here, you actually have to climb this ladder. But yeah, there's a little bit of light. One thing that you guys are all noticing is that this whole area is open to the cavern. There is no roof here. There was a door, but there is no roof. And so, with that in mind, can everybody please give me a fortitude check, please?
Is this against hope?
It is against cold.
Do I get a bonus?
You do not, because you are not wearing cold weather gear.
I still have my extra set, or is someone using that?
Somebody's using
I
it.
thought someone using my winter blanket.
You can't wear a winter blanket.
I tried.
So, all right. Funnily enough, the only person that takes this is Tertia. Tertia, take 1d6 non-lethal cold damage.
Lumio, why? The machines betrayed us.
So, this is environmental cold damage. That's non-lethal. This exists until you get warm. So, for those that don't know in Pathfinder, the way that it works is that, like, basically when you take hit point damage, you're counting down. When you take non-lethal damage, you're counting up. When those two numbers meet, you go unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tertia is, I believe, at the moment fully healed, but has 2 points of non-lethal damage. I don't know why Lumio did it. Yeah. What'd you say?
You said 2 points of non-lethal?
Yeah, read what your cloak does, dude.
Oh, that's right. I can bring. Shut up.
So, you guys are all here. You're in this place. What would you like to do? This is the first structure
go to the
that
room where my fires are.
This is the first structure that you've seen of the big new city, and it's a pit where they kept chattel. Like, it is terrible. Which a lot of the Dakani kind of were. So yeah, you go, you climb up. You can open those doors. You can just click them. And
Before you disappear,
No.
yeah, you're actually
have you explored any of this area?
like, you guys are actually coming in from the other side, just so that you know, because that's where the thing is. But
What all have you explored of this area so far? If anything.
Well, I've explored the room you were just in, this room, which I usually put more of those, like, bedrolls in here to set on fire to stay warm, and that bridge we were at a few moments ago.
Excellent.
And-
Excellent.
And yeah, Dandarin, what you see in this room is a couple of pretty smashed boxes. The table and chairs are actually relatively intact. This pretty smashed bureau. And then there's this, like, fire pit where you see that somebody has just been burning blankets and bedrolls and that sort of thing. And then sort of there's, like, hooks in the wall right here where it looks like there used to be tapestries. But now hanging on those hooks are more bedrolls.
I see. Well, let's get about setting you properly for this weather here. Alternatively, I'm going to examine the materials in this room, and see if I can jury rig a makeshift, like, wagon or, like, wheelbarrow, and barring that, like, an easily towed sleigh.
Creating a travois is very easy. To make a travois, you basically need 2 long poles and something to sort of, like, tie them together. To make a sleigh, like an actual vehicle, no, you definitely don't have that around here.
So I could basically just, so what I'm barring an actual sleigh, then something in between a travois and a sleigh, like a child's sleigh, as it were. Some slats so it can easily move on this icy kind of, flooring that's all throughout this cave system, this city.
With what you see so far, no, there's nothing here. Like, most of the stuff in here is either shattered or burnt, and everything in here is for the most part just bedrolls.
Well, then we'll have to get lucky in the first place we look.
So,
If you're warmed up, let us know. We're going to head out, and we've got some artifacts to find.
Sirax is actually grabbing these boxes from the corner and is working to, like, try and bring them up into this room.
These are they're very, very heavy. And you see that one of them is kind of, like, broken off in the corner, and all that you see inside it is chains, like rusted chains. So when you pick up the box, it's real heavy, and it kind of, like, jangles around inside.
She's just gonna tilt out the chains. She doesn't give a fuck about those. She wants the wood.
Okay.
And that's true of all of them. Like, she's just gonna get the boxes and then try and get folks to carry those up, because if this is where we're gonna make our camp, that's some prime firewood.
Sure. There's about 5-6 boxes worth. These aren't very big, because if they're too big, they're too heavy to move, right? Because they were carrying chains.
Yeah.
But they're enough that you could build a couple fires with it.
Sharut will help carry.
Sharut just throws them on his back, and then they're inside. So yeah,
They're full. Yeah.
you are easily able to do that thing. So yeah, and when you come up, the rest of you can move in here, and it's a small little cramped room, and it looks like and Terzi, you're not unfamiliar with the fact that after you're in here for a while burning stuff, if you want to like actually stay alive, at some point you need to open the door, which unfortunately lets out a lot of the warmth, but also lets out a lot of the smoke. But this is sort of what you've been doing.
So this little area does have a roof.
Yes.
Wait, yes, this area does have a roof. It's the rest of it.
Okay.
Everything else doesn't. This
So this
little
is like where the
box.
guards were and stuff.
This is where the guards were. This little box does.
Well, I'll say it again. You should probably, once you're warmed up and settled up, out to the next destination.
I mean, I agree.
But we would like to hear your story if you've got a moment. Unless you're not willing to share much more than
I mean,
you already have, of course.
there's not much more to tell, really.
Well, all right then.
Sharut must give pardons. Do not think we have all actually deuced.
I am Denderin Surneth, House Surneth of the Maraholds. My family and I came to Nucia to help out with the town, what with fortifying the masonry and doing a number of blacksmithing tasks for the town to bring some quality back into it. My brother, unfortunately, he died. My brother. He died, but most unfortunately. But I am still here, and my sister is still in Nucia, so...
Yeah. Tercia, if you would like, can you give me a knowledge nobility roll?
Sure.
There's always been some sort of weird rumor among the Siren nobility of some sort of deal between Sornath and the crown, specifically like the crown of Seer. And that rumor has been around longer than you've been alive.
Interesting. I'll have to. Well, I don't really want to talk to Orgev. That's fine. A lot of Sornath craftsmen and other artisans have dealt with the crown here in Seer. From my understanding, you have a long storied history with our nation already.
That's true, but House Sornath has a long history with honestly most of the ruling houses. Yeah, after all, some of the finest craftsmen in the land, if not the finest craftsmen.
If not the most stylish.
Well, he kind of flips his hammer in his hand.
What do you like about weapons? Angles. All right. Jesus.
Not enough angles.
I mean, style is really important to Syrian society, so.
Yeah.
So I've heard. During the war, I never made it out myself, unfortunately, to see the lands before morning. I've heard many good things. Would have liked to see it, I think.
I'd rather not dwell on it, but
it's understandable.
So, you're Siren nobility?
That's right.
Are the rumors true that you eat the legs of reptiles?
Not so much anymore.
Hard to find a good reptile.
Well,
They're kind of a delicacy, a little hard to afford when your entire country's been blown up, along with all your money.
oh, trust me, well aware of that. But that's just good to know that you've sort of confirmed what I've heard around.
I mean, that was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's still around.
No, not. I mean, not amongst Syrian nobility. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course, they're all dead. Minus you. The rumor's still around.
Wow.
Well, it's perpetuated by me now.
Have you heard this rumor that I've been telling?
Leon, I just, maybe just this one time, just ease her back.
Wait, I actually have a question here. Is Delian nervous? Because that's what that sounded like, was that he's like nervous talking to nobility.
That's how I'm taking it.
Yeah, this is the fanciest fucking person Delian's ever been around.
Yeah.
And I'm covered in filth.
Yeah.
Nobility is nobility.
I guess fair enough.
Silver-tongued one, Delian.
Silver tongue? Nah, well, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Sure, it's gonna work on some at the table.
Anyone else want to introduce themselves? Sorry, it's kind of a weird day.
Forsidna will nod to you, and she'll say, I am Forsidna de Denith. This is my cousin. And Corley will nod to you and say, my name is Corley.
Well met.
We are currently under contract with Zeract.
Who is Erect?
Zorak looks over and just says, "That's me," and then walks out.
Ah,
She don't take too much offense. She actually changes a bit day to day. It's part of her religion, her practices. She speaks with the spirits, I guess. And Sharut, you might know a bit more. She binds them of some kind, right? In a contract.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
They
I've
can-
seen it a lot. It's really wild.
I mean, huge swifts and changes in personality. So the default is,
sounds incredibly stable.
well, it
What a
gruff.
sense of humor you have.
Gruff would be the basis. Yes. Lumio, do you want to come in here and introduce yourself?
I am Lumia, a warforged of experimental origin.
Bro, before you continue, you're awfully quiet.
Yeah, I was asked to turn myself down.
Oh, okay. Then carry on.
You were?
I had been told that I was loud a couple of times, so I turned.
Oh, carry on then.
Wayward son.
All right. So yes, I am Lumio. We've chatted briefly.
We did. That was like 30 minutes ago.
Has everyone been more or less favorable?
Yeah, for the most part. You all seem certainly more competent than the people I showed up with.
Well, I am sorry to hear that.
I mean,
It's difficult to find.
yeah, that's true. Especially at the price point they were paying for. But gotta get your funding somehow, right?
Indeed.
So what brings you down here?
I am of Ketch Volar, Alex.
What kind of relics?
This city we sit
And Sharut's like mixing stuff together as he speaks.
is the last point of the Takani Empire. It is known as Olh'sharaak, a warlord of great power sat here. Believe artifacts can bring back to Ketch Volar.
You think your catch, as you said, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the term, would pay for assistance in retrieving these? Or reward, I suppose I should say.
Sharut does believe rewarded these
Oh.
back. Yes.
In that case, I would be happy to assist in this.
You're more than welcome to help. I was just coming to see what this was all about. Root's a friend. I thought I'd help him out. But if I can get paid for helping a friend, well, you can do something earlier,
forget.
Root.
You forget what payment is. He head very hard.
Did we agree on a payment? No. Curses. What have I missed? I missed about a day and a half, I think, maybe.
This
Maybe
place
more,
does
maybe
weird
less.
things to your head.
Apparently, I fell in some black ice of some kind. I don't remember doing it, but apparently I did.
Yeah, I'd watch out for that. You know, hey, wear a helmet.
Tertia,
Probably not a great.
I was
Yes.
wearing a helmet.
give me a will save.
Sure, I'm not good at those. Why not? Huh?
All right, keep going.
Yeah. I mean, my first day here was kind of like that. I assume it was my first day. Time is a little weird down here when you're used to being up on the surface.
You get used to living underground. Actually,
Sharut kind of
there's a rift here.
raises
What,
his
what
eyebrow.
year was it when you came down?
What year was it?
Yes. I assume it was recently, but you're human.
What year is it now?
They're the
This
current
is
year.
Mike asking, not.
It's
current-
998.
Yeah, currently it's 998.
I believe it was 998. What year was it when you came down here?
Oh no, it was 998. It was just never know. It rifts. All that.
Is the fire we made burning more slowly?
The fire doesn't burn slowly. It's really hard to get it started. Like that's the main thing is that it's really hard to get started. You guys basically end up taking a bunch of that wood and then burning one of the bedrolls that Tertia has been drying for a while. And then putting that wood around it to sort of unfreeze and thaw off because all of that wood outside is frozen. Like it's ice and snow covered and wet and frozen.
A fire with wet wood.
Yeah. So
Sure it is.
so basically you just put it around the like burning log of a thing that's over here in the middle and eventually it'll dry out enough to use. A lot of the bigger pieces from over here have already been used. Some of the bigger pieces from over here have already been used. The table and chair, I imagine that like Tertia's probably not set to burning them yet because they're still functional, but probably wasn't far off.
Yeah, the boxes down there were too heavy and a little far away, so I was thinking about it.
Once we've set this to last a good long while, do we head out, go to the next location, and see what we can find?
Sure, I'm
Right.
cool with that.
Kind of peeks her head in. Before we do that, we should at least take something of a survey of the city itself. Sharut, I think you and I could take a quick look of the environs and decide sort of where the best locations for us would be.
I'm trying to think before we go, because I'm assuming we're going to be here we've been here for longer than 15 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
I tried moving everybody, and everybody was already moving themselves, so, like, that was weird.
Hey, somebody's moving me.
I am going to increase the DC of my healings.
Okay. Oh, so you're going to take, like, 15 minutes to make a couple more.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to increase the DC by 10.
Okay.
Because that'll grant an additional 5. It'll make them more potent.
Gotcha.
But I actually have to roll it. And I can make 2 at a time because I have, or 2 and a 50. Okay. Guido. All right. And I will go ahead because it sounds like we're not staying
survey.
here. Yeah, but it sounds like we're not staying here. So I'm gonna put those in bolt vials. And just to let the party know, I'll have those 2 salves and bolt vials, and then I'll have 2 more bolt vials after that. Then I'm tapped out for bolt vials. I also want to let the party know that I only have 5 more charges of my heat. Yeah. Okay.
Well, one of the few things I did bring with me when I came down here was some healing potions. Not many, but I have a few.
I've only got the one that we found. Well, speaking of which, I'm going to thaw it out next to the fire, John, here.
That'll work. It is now usable.
Hey.
Sharut also have potion. Nosaract also have good berry.
Yeah, make sure, by the way, when you guys take the good berry, make sure to, like, make a note somewhere. You can only heal 13 points from good berries a day. So, like, if you get a good roll and then you get another good roll, you don't get all of the second one.
Yeah, that's something that I mentioned the last time, like last session, but it's good to have another reminder.
And they were a 1d8 plus 3, right?
That's correct.
I'm pretty sure I would only heal like 1 because I rolled.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to let the party know that because resources. And yeah, let's go do some scouting.
Excellent. Well, sure. Join me on the wall, and we'll see what we can assess from here. And Zarak is going to start working through buildings, with what Sharut knows of his people's history, and actually, she might pull Dandarin up as well for any knowledge on engineering. It looks like stonework.
Sure.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a knowledge history rolls, and you can also give me Dandarin a knowledge engineering and architecture.
Can I get a +2?
I'll give you a +2. I think a +2 is fair.
Yeah.
It's been a long time, and like contact with this place has basically been completely cut off, so it's still a hard roll. Zarak, you have no idea.
That's fair.
Dandarin, you are fairly certain that all of these smaller buildings in the middle here are, for the most part, going to be dwellings. They're just little houses, shops, inns, that sort of thing. But these are like living quarters for the people of the town. Which is why for some of them that go very high up, like this one in particular would go all the way to the ceiling. This other one over here goes all the way to the ceiling. You'll see that it will have stairs that like go all the way around it, and then it'll have doors that enter at multiple points. So you'd be able to sort of surmise that it goes like that. It probably has essentially apartments. Like there's a first and second and third floor.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's what you're getting with yours. Sharut. So you don't know much about this place. Basically, your people went into hiding before this place even fell. So like they didn't really write all that much about it. But you know that based on the kind of general shape, this is probably some sort of barracks. And it's because of how basically wide, long and flat it is. It's probably got some sort of training field inside it. That's the one that you are able to easily identify, because that's the one that somebody going up in Catch Valar would probably be forced into, whether they wanted it or not. Zarakt. So you are able to identify a couple of different things. This has a little bit of a tower, not much. The little circular bit goes up to about a second floor. And given the kind of easy access to slaves and the way that it's positioned to be very close to what you can faintly see looks a bit like a mushroom field. This is probably some sort of like laboratory where they would have maybe once built like alchemical weapons, grenades, that sort of thing. You are also able to put together that, in addition to the training barracks thing that Sharut points out, this and this look like they would be essentially different versions of the same kind of thing. Very sort of like high class homes for exceptional warlords, maybe exceptional merchants, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
That is the majority of what you're getting at.
Cool.
So two things. Can I make an engineering roll as well?
No.
Okay.
Dandarin already made the engineering roll.
Okay. And then Sharut is essentially doing his best to draw out the layout, and he is being very meticulous about it in his time.
Okay, that's fine.
And then labeling what information I've shared.
Okay.
Direct is going to kind of highlight the building behind them and say, look, it's clear that this city holds dangers in and of itself. I think this laboratory may be our first most reasonable place to stock up, particularly if we're looking at assaulting the rest of the city or raising up whatever is still living.
You say likely has supplies to help. Yes, do not know what state because of cold.
Excellent. Well,
Sounds reasonable to me.
I think that makes the most sense.
All right.
Also, there's a bridge to the north I didn't notice was there, because I've never used that door before.
I've been jumping this wall the whole time.
Can Charut check? Sounds like
No, there's no bump.
Sharut kind of just steps over and motions down.
Persia does not bend.
patient. Checking.
This is nobility here messing with you. Probably don't want to do something like that.
Sharut just raises his eyebrow to delete. He just doesn't. He just shakes his head and just like,
We have work to do.
Let me see if you're hurt. I am a duke.
Dukes do not get hurt.
And with that, we go check out the laboratory.
All right.
Yeah.
I will move everybody over to that map. Let me grab you on this map.
Cool. While you're doing that, the Duke, like, don't you do that to me. I'm a Duke. I'm gonna nuke him. There's my time. I will see you all later.
What?
God damn it.
Bye, Travis. Don't come back.
it's bad. It's real bad.
It's really weird to me when I can feel myself hate someone.
Really?
Weird
That's
for you?
really, yeah. That must mean extra level. It grows ever stronger.
Before we transition to the next map, Sharut. Oh no, I already clarified that they're in bolt files. Never mind.
Okay, so you guys are able to sort of leave out the door of the pins now, and
What's happening?
you can actually put everybody on the map. Everybody should be able to see where is Dandarin. There we go.
Yeah.
Tis I.
Ah.
Dandarin takes off his Zarakt mask. It was me the whole time.
My grandfather Crombrindle taught me that trick.
It's like that transformation animation in Majora's Mask. Pulls off the mask.
So basically what you see is sort of a wide squat building, not quite as big as the building that Sharut and Zarakt identified as a probable barracks, but about half that big. the big thing that you guys can see as you're coming over to it is that unlike some of these other buildings, is that it has a small tower, and the tower has a second floor there, basically. Yeah, it's all worked stone. This isn't naturally carved at all. This is like actual brickwork that has been put in place.
Reach and clear.
Do it.
See if I can find traps on the door.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check. It does not appear to be trapped. Note, I'm saying this is somebody without trap finding, so of course it doesn't.
Well, yeah, but if the DC's not too high. Anyway, I'll try and unlock it.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Before Dandarin tries to unlock the
Yes?
door.
Salute, think tension. Banging on door, very loud.
No.
He holds up some picks and stuff. I was gonna pick the lock.
I don't always just go around hitting stuff, and it's really hurtful that you
I
would
am a
say
smith. I make locks for a living. I have to know how to pick them.
that.
I've never done it before, but I have to know.
Yeah.
I have done it
My
before.
first try.
Dandarin, can you give me actually with your perception check, this door is not locked. You can feel a little bit of give in the sort of like the handle as you're turning it. It's not locked. It's just iced over. It's not necessarily going to require and you get the hammer out and start pounding on it for an hour, but you're going to have to muscle your way in. Can you give me a strength check?
Sure, but does anyone have a torch? Since I noticed it's iced over, that changes how I approach it. And I would like to basically heat it up a bit beforehand to see if that helps loosen it up.
Sure.
I mean,
Then
I have
watch me fail this strength check. I sure did.
All right. Yeah, you kind of and you hear that of ice cracking around the door. It's just very, very iced over.
Can Sharut do a push check?
A push check?
I mean, I can push 100 or 1,125.
So
pounds.
it's a strength check.
That's just a straight check.
Your class ability that lets you have an obnoxiously large backpack does not make you stronger. If you would like to make a strength check,
That would be funny.
You know what? We'll try it.
Hold on. I know how these things work. Everyone in a line and we shove.
so go ahead and roll it, Shroot.
Get fucked, bud.
He puts both of his hands on the door, and as he's walking forward, trying to push on it, his feet are slipping out from underneath him. So
Yeah.
he's just
You just straight.
I've never seen someone that small turn themselves into an L before.
You just straight face plant, just whap directly into the ice.
Shouldn't have licked your hands to get them warmer before you tried to push on it.
So yeah. So what would you guys like to do?
The details of the day seem fuzzy. It's not black ice. You're suffering a concussion.
We're just going to back up. Melt the door if you'd be so kind.
I don't know why you take so long to come to this conclusion.
All right. Real quick.
What do you mean, melt the door?
Tertia,
Zia,
back
you
up.
want to back up?
Teresa, step back.
Corley, you're still a little close.
Oh yeah, sorry. She'll back up. I was doing a little thing.
Okay.
Sharut's gonna lean over to Dandarin.
Zeract, very good.
You know, this is going to alert everything on the other side of the door. And then, without waiting for further comment on that, she just explodes.
Great.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, thankfully your explosion is it's just fire. It's not necessarily. It makes all the sound that a whoosh of fire makes. You're not actually a grenade. So
There's no concussion to that.
Kind of like it. All right, fine.
I mean,
all right,
you don't walk up and you're like, haha, I am napalm. It makes. I imagine it makes about the sound that a flamethrower makes. It's a whoosh of fire. So as that's happening, Zeract, you're currently just coated with or not coated. You explode in light. You guys see this weird thing happen where everything around you does this. And can I get everybody to give me a perception check at a -2?
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Oh yeah. There we go.
Oh man.
Not bad, not bad.
Delian, You actually see it coming. Oh, it's great.
What I do to assume?
So the way I'm looking at this is that you are surrounded in a corona of fire as this happens. So you'll see it, but while you do see it, it's coming for Dillian.
Gotcha.
Which I want you to know, Travis, I rolled randomly to see if it went for you.
Yeah, it's all good. Like,
It
I
did.
understand.
It did go
It
for you.
was a D1, so
I randomly drew a name from the hat. Funny enough, the names were all yours.
Wow, I know that I made a figure for this, and I don't have it now. This thing, Travis, it's flying.
it's a mask.
It's a mask. This actually isn't too far off what you see. Let me see if I can
That's
find
not
it.
great.
Oh no. Oh, I know what that is.
It's coming to take him.
I know what it's gonna be.
So
Children of the Corn.
what you see, Dillian, is sort of like. Oh, there we go. That's a good. I'll zoom in a little bit, and then I'll give you all the link if you'd like, but I'll also just put it in the chat or on the stream.
Cool. Image broken.
Yeah,
It sort of looks like a flying manta ray, like a cloak, kind of, with
Like a cloaker.
with two heads coming from it, two sort of long serpentine heads, and it's
No, that's
flying
terrible.
down at you, going, "Krah!" And the other head is answering with a "Krah!"
Oh lordy.
However, you will get will get an action during this combat. So, if can everybody please roll your initiative for me?
Sure. Fucking let me roll. Everybody's rolling, so mine just keeps knocking down the list.
I think everybody rolled, and then when I went to roll like for Sidna's, I clicked on yours because it vanished. I apologize.
No, it's fine. It was just like, I'm gonna click it,
However,
continuing, trying.
you see it coming, and it is definitely flying directly for you.
Okay.
It is basically dive bombing your position.
Is there any possible way that I can scramble behind for Sidna?
Yes, because you will actually be able to go before it goes. So it's basically combat has started. It's your turn. What would you like to do? You have a standard action.
A standard action. So as a free action, the hell is that? And then I'm gonna run.
Okay.
Mostly into a crowd of people.
That does complicate some things. Okay. So you kind of like just get up and move over there, like climb up the stairs and run.
If I'm gonna be the juicy target of tonight, I'm gonna make it as hard as possible.
Okay, that's fair. Because you said you ran, can you roll me an acrobatics check?
Of course, absolutely.
Because watching you tumble down the steps as this happens would be great.
Yeah, I bet you would really like that. It's a shame that I might have to burn a hero point for this.
And then it just picked up his broken body and flew away. That was the last we ever saw of him.
Yeah, if you use the hero point first, you get a bigger bonus.
No, I think
You lose your footing a little bit, but you manage to save it as you're kind of clambering up the ice-covered steps and running towards everyone.
I mean, I'm in a panic, so
Yeah.
that seems all right.
Zorak, it's your turn.
Fantastic.
Basically as the corona sort of vanishes, you see this thing flying in the air, moving towards Dillian. I should actually. There we go.
Oh lord.
That's
Zorak,
even worse.
like there's a moment of hesitation where Zorak's finger is on the trigger of the crossbow. She's like, should I? Then
You
she
are
takes the-
scum.
But then she takes the shot.
You are scum.
Wouldn't have gone for scum, but yeah.
And it's that moment of hesitation, I'm assuming, where she's just like, I don't know.
Okay.
And so it shoots a little bit past where it's like it goes forward through the shot in front of the shot.
Okay. So here's what's happening at this point. The great part about this is that it's going to happen, and because of where you moved, I can actually attack both you and Sharut. So thanks.
Yeah.
So,
Ah.
I am going to flyby attack the two of you.
I mean, it's better than 2 attacks on just me.
Yeah, of course. Dillian, this is going to be an attack on you.
All right.
Sharut, this
It
is going to be an
misses.
attack on you. Did you say it misses?
Flat-footed.
Oh, no, it hits.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know what I was thinking.
Does that hit you if you're flat-footed, Sharut?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So, at this point, Dillian, you take
Mm-hmm.
5 points of damage and 3 points of cold damage. I'm giving them to you separately in case you have any sort of cold resistance. Don't think you do, but hey.
I don't.
Sharut, you take 5 points of damage and 3 points of cold damage. Same thing. I will now make a grapple check against both of you. So this one is going to be against Dillian's CMD. This one is going to be against Sharut's CMD.
Oh, yeah, you got me.
Rolling bricks, man.
Yep.
Wow, it's like you copy-pasted it.
That's really weird, but
2 11s, then 2 25s. Huh. I wonder what's happening.
hey,
John, did you
Hey.
microwave your PC?
I I downloaded more RAM.
Yeah, you overclocked it. I can tell.
Did it?
So at this point, it is here, and you two are there.
Sick.
It has one
Good
mouth.
hesitation.
It has one mouth, basically latched onto your shoulder, Dillian, and you are sort of tied into its head. It's a very awkward thing. Sharut, the other one, is latched onto you, and you are tied into its other neck. So the two of you are basically face to face at the front of this monster as it flies away.
Very cool.
So, I wanna then move on to the next part. So top of the round, Sharut.
Sharut is gonna spend a hero point.
Yeah.
Fuck this. No. I should say he's not doing really good on health at the moment. So I need to get out. Escape artist.
Okay. Roll me
That's
an
a-
escape artist check.
That's a plus.
It's a +8 because you're declaring it beforehand.
Yeah. Get me the fuck out.
Okay. So, with that roll, I believe you're out. One check, real quick. Yeah, in place of a combat maneuver check to escape a grapple. You are out. You fall to the ground. You're not that high up, so you don't take any damage. You just kind of tumble to the ground. And if you'd like to give me an acrobatics check, I will tell you whether or not you keep your feet. You keep your feet. So you tumble to the ground, and it continues to fly overhead. At this point, Corley will go, Dillian, and move this way to attack the snow cloak in the ass.
That pleases me.
And will whiff. Dandarin, it is your turn. There's a real weird thing.
Charge.
There's a real weird thing going on with Corley's. Oh, has vision. There we go. Now it can't see through walls. I should do the same thing to Forsida's token. Let's see. One thing has vision. Yeah, it was weird when I was clicking them. I could just see through walls. Dandarin, yes, you charge. Go ahead and roll the attack. The damage. Or sorry, roll the attack and then maybe the damage. That will hit.
And to clarify, I was not doing anything fancy, which is why you don't see a big wall of text.
Okay.
So that is just 14 damage.
That is
to the
just
creature's
14 damage. Okay. Dandarin, you get a solid slice against this thing. And one sec. You get a solid slice against this thing, and you see it just kind of like scream in pain with the head that has dropped Sharut. The head that currently has Dillian in its mouth goes, but it doesn't scream in pain because then it would drop the meal that it's managing to get.
Scream in pain.
Scream in pain, damn it. Lumio,
Yeah, that's me.
it's your turn.
Oh, is it? I'm gonna do that move action thing where I get to make a totem on a move action.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll a d100 real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's low.
Yep.
And then I'm going to do the fiery version of the electric thing that I do, even though I know it doesn't have any armor on it. So that's going to be another D100. at 10 or
Yeah.
plus 15.
Real quick, which totem did you put down?
The one that allows you to attack 2.
Okay, gotcha.
Because that helps my friend Dandruff.
It does help your friend Dandarin. To be clear, it will help no one but Dandarin because there's only one of them. But it will help Dandarin. And then that will be a wild magic. So can you roll another D100?
Slumio.
While you look that up, I'm gonna roll my attack roll.
So the effect treats all affected creatures as if they possess spell resistance equal to 10 plus hit dice. So can you please roll me to see if you beat this creature's spell resistance, which exists for this precise spell?
Yeah.
It's a D20 plus your caster level plus your casting stat. So like your casting stat is a +3. So I believe it's total of a D20 plus 6.
So I rolled.
You beat its spell resistance. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Okay.
Touch?
So it is touch. With the people that are currently engaging it, that is not enough to hit it.
Wait.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. Delian, it is your turn, and I want you to know that while I am rooting for you, I think it would be really funny if you got eaten. So I'm of two minds about the whole thing, but you do what you want to do.
Yeah, I know. So if I'm untrained in a skill, do I have a max cap that I can get?
It depends on the skill. What are you talking about?
I'm also trying to escape.
So
Screw this
escape
noise.
artist can be rolled untrained. So,
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
You could also do a combat maneuver bonus check, I think.
Yeah. It's he's a high dex character and he's a low strength character, so it's probably just better for him to do an escape artist check.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also going to spend a hero point because screw this.
Okay, so take whatever
Today
your
is
escape
not
artist
my
is,
day.
add 8 to it, and then roll it.
Yeah.
So that is not going to be enough.
Cool.
Did you add your dex to that?
No.
Okay, so you should have a one sec here.
Because that means if it goes off of my modifier, I should have an 18.
Yes, so you do have an 18. So that will be enough that you are able to drop out of it.
Okay.
At this point, you need to give me an athletics check because you are 10 feet. Like basically you're above a 15-foot drop.
Yep, that's fine.
So give me an athletics check. Or sorry, acrobatics check. And
If it's one thing I'm good at, it's falling.
okay, so you managed to not only keep your feet, but you managed to keep your feet after falling 15 feet. So you are still in this square. You're just farther down than everyone else because this is actually, hold on. This is 10. Let me make sure my math is right. This is 20. This is 10. This is 0. So this is actually a 20-foot drop. So it's a 20-foot drop. You'll still take 1d6. Sorry. You'll still take 1d6. Okay. But you have escaped
this horrible thing.
The horrible thing. You take 5 damage. You
fuck.
Well, it would have been 2d6. So you managed to you managed to sort of like push some of the fall away by kind of like rolling in midair, but you still hit pretty hard. You're still prone on the ground.
Yeah, the exclamation was just, Delian has been having a night.
Yeah, you have had a really shitty day. And
I mean, ever since we entered here, Delian's had a pretty shitty time.
Yeah. Next will be Forsytha, who will move to sort of like guard Zeract. And then after that, Tertia.
So first question, did we regain our martial focus after combat ended?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can regain your martial focus with a full round action. So I imagine that for those of you that spend it after combat ends, one of the things you do is you regain.
Great. In that case, I'm going to do a deadly shot with my bonus damage.
That makes sense.
And I'm also going to make that a push shot.
Okay. Is that like your snipe ability?
Yes. Actually, that means I would not be able to take... Oh, no. It's on a successful deadly shot. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll it for me.
Just want to make sure. That's right.
An 18 will hit.
Cool. And I forgot that I had a point-blank shot, so I add 1 damage.
Yep. All right. What's your weapon made of? I imagine it's steel, but...
Yeah, normal materials for a weapon.
Yeah, so steel. Okay, so yeah, you throw it, and the chakram kind of like bounces across the back of it, and then off the wall, and then back to your hand. It screams in pain this time from both mouths,
And it's also pushed.
and it's pushed. How far is it pushed?
Let's find out. Does that beat its CMD?
That meets its CMD.
So 5 feet.
Okay. Good. Zarak, it's your turn.
Ziract is going to fire another shot. She's in a good spot. She can reload. She can fire.
Yeah, take another shot.
Everything-
Want to take a
everything's
shot?
solid here. Yeah, let's
Take another shot.
take another shot.
A 15 will not hit.
That's fine.
All right. After Zarak is the Snowcloak. So the Snowcloak does this thing where, and I will show this all to you. Basically, this area right here just becomes real hard to see in,
Ooh.
and it
fucks off.
It fucks off.
Hey, exciting.
Sharut is immediately gonna hide between the two tall people
Okay,
and chug a potion.
sounds good.
Leon, are you all right? Leon.
I believe we should be inside that building right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook shot up there.
Okay,
Somebody's going to
yeah.
need to try this door then. So
Yeah, Corley's like in the process of getting a rope like out of her pack, and you just kind of like whoop.
Yeah,
And
not
she
my
goes,
first rodeo. This is just the weirdest one.
Right, with that in mind, it's time for a breach and clear.
1d8 plus 1, right, for Cure Light?
Yeah. For Cure Light Wounds potion? Yeah.
Nice.
All right. And after that is Dendron, you said you were gonna just whack it, sounds like.
I'm just going to see if I can bust off the rest of the ice and get it open.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a disable device check.
Yeah. I want you to make this putt.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long. Like the door is unlocked. It's just frozen shut. So you're basically just going around the outside with, like, you could even use your hammer, and it does echo in this cavern. Of course it does. But you're hearing sounds from all over the place anyway. The snow cloak that just fought you, you guys hear it kind of screech as it flies off. You hear ice kind of cracking all the time. So you are able to just all the way across it, and then the door is open to you.
That's a statue. Kill it.
Kill it.
I step in and look at all the... Oh, no.
Oh no.
Sharut is
In God's
is
name,
like
please.
on his
Yeah.
heels because he wants to get
Yeah.
out from the open air.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I actually have a practical question, John Eric.
Yeah, what's up?
So running is difficult because of the terrain and stuff. Would snowshoes make it easier?
Snowshoes don't tend to help over ice. Snowshoes help over snow. So
Okay, so
I'm
it is
not-
just ice.
yes, it's the fact that, like, there's not actually a lot of snow here. The snow is, for the most part, just accumulated, shattered and reshattered ice. If I were giving you slow movement because of deep snow, snowshoes help. But because what I'm giving you is, if you move too fast, or in certain situations where it's extremely slick, if you move at all, you have a chance to fall. Not much helps with that. Crampons might help a little bit in that they give you a bonus, but that's it.
So that would be my climbing shoes for my climbing kit. That would help a little.
A little bit, but
I
like
will
even with
actually
crampons, it's possible to slip on ice. I've seen videos of people doing it. I watched a number of videos of, like, icy terrain and, like, the difficulties and dangers of it to prep for this. So
that's hilarious.
I wanted to make it not necessarily realistic because it's a game, but I want the dangers to actually feel dangerous.
Yeah. that's fine.
So, anyway, so as you all enter, what you see is it looks like it was once a fairly nice entry foyer to some sort of arcane residence. And that's what you're seeing as you're entering this, is that it's more of a residence / laboratory than it is just a laboratory. And it's because of kind of the things that used to be on the walls that are now kind of like down here all along the side. There's like slashed and torn apart paintings, that sort of stuff. The statue is actually intact, but the statue is defaced. It looks like someone has basically taken clawed hands and just run them over the flatter parts to mar the stone. To the south, this wall right here, you see a trio of basins that look like essentially they almost look like snow globes in that it's basically a steel basin with some sort of glass dome, but the glass dome is completely iced over. Like you see that, you know how when you get like a little star of ice on your window and it kind of like spreads, you see that sort of effect over all of these. The statue appears to be of a hobgoblin. It is a female. She is wearing a kind of a combination of like adventuring gear with armor. So you see that she has like the sort of like pack next to her. She has the rope on the statue, but you're also seeing that there's like a leather breastplate, in terms of carved, not an actual leather breastplate, on the statue. And like I said, it's just been clawed at, but you can make out at least the general like face and gender of the statue. But that's what you can see from here. Looking in further past the statue, I believe, yes, from Dandarin and Tircia, you can look in a little bit farther. There appears to be some sort of drop down, and you can vaguely make out some tables of iced over wood.
Looks like this is a closed system, so let's clear this room first.
History check.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
How's a 22 sound?
A 22. You recognize this as a statue of a speaker. This particular speaker is named Rima. Rima is sort of iconic among the Margol tribes to the very, very south, in the mountain range that sort of separates Brayland and Zillargo from Dargoon. Rima was by the end of the Dakani. Rima was a famous hobgoblin who essentially was leading mixed groups into battle. Not just hobgoblins, not just orcs, but mixed groups of hobgoblins and orcs and humans and dwarves and elves. Generally reviled by the more hardline militant hobgoblins because Rima was kind of a what would you call it? It's an emancipationist.
Okay.
Basically, Rima did not believe, like many of the modern hobgoblins, Rima did not believe in slavery and did not believe in allowing those under her command to do it, because you can't really force someone to fight the Dalekir. They have to want to do it.
Makes
so
sense.
yeah, she led a lot of combat to the far south, but she was leading combat against the Dalekir when she was already really, really old. This is a statue of her as sort of a younger adventurer. You know that she used to be somebody who would go out and find new secrets and new sort of like ways to use alchemy and bring it back. So she was essentially a non-bardic dirge speaker, kind of.
So we can't like Sharut would probably feel a pretty solid connection.
Maybe.
Since he's kind of doing something similar, but it's more rediscovery than finding.
Yeah, I mean, what you're doing is it's not close to what she did, but you can make a couple of tangents there. Like Rima was a much more understanding hobgoblin leader than a lot of hobgoblin. The Dakani were militarily strong, but their policies sort of made them into absolute tyrants. So anyway, while you're doing that, what are the rest of you doing?
Begin searching this main room for anything of potential value.
All right.
Seract is going to examine these
I will join you.
these guys down here.
Sounds good.
Or at least I will when someone gets me a light source.
Okay. 1 second, because that's a thing I actually have to change. You are now radiating 30 and 60. You are no longer okay. So the two of you who are searching, please give me perception checks. Zeract. Like I said, these things are very iced over. But you can maybe like sort of like move to various spots and give me some looks inside. Can you please give me a perception check? And depending on how long you want to spend doing this, you can take 10 or 20. You do have like the time if you want, so it's up to you.
I mean, this is something that Seract is interested in, not only because hey, weird creatures, but also anything that the Dakani trapped here or felt like they might hold in this space might give more information about other threats we might encounter, or the kinds of things we can expect from this space. So yeah, Zeract will take 20 on that. She's gonna spend a good long time on it.
Okay. So in that case, can you give me a knowledge dungeoneering?
That I don't have a whole lot of. So,
Okay. So I
can
will
give it to you, but-
explain what you see when you give enough time, and basically, like, I imagine you're kind of like putting your hands on this to warm the glass a little bit.
Yeah.
So in this one right here,
Mhm.
you see what looks to be some sort of it almost looks like a fish, almost. But instead of having eyes on either side of the head, it has basically a trio of eyes running from the front of it up.
Okay.
It has both fins and tentacles. It's very small, and it is kind of a slight sort of you don't know if it's the ice or if this is natural, but it's kind of a slight like blue-white color.
Mhm.
This seems to be, so you fought something similar to this out there on the bridge. So if you took what you fought on the bridge, the big bug thing, and then you put kind of like little tufts of fur in various places, that's kind of what this looks like. And then this one appears from everything that you can see as you're looking at it to just be a pile of just like vegetable matter. It just looks like refuse, like compost, maybe. Like somebody just had a bunch of scraps or something and just piled them all together.
Would that still be a knowledge dungeoneering check?
For this one, actually,
Yeah.
no. This one would be knowledge nature.
That is something that Zeract has, so I will roll for that.
This is basically a very large pile of mold. It is, you know this to be essentially how can I put it? There's a type of mold that's called brown mold that is incredibly violent and quick spreading. It can drain the warmth out of creatures. And if you come too near it with heat sources, it will literally like explode towards the heat, put all the heat out. It kills everything around it, and renders that whole area frosty. While this does not seem to be moving, and this does not seem to be moving, the glass of this is iced over, but like every now and then there's a little like puff of spore inside this. Normally introducing cold damage to brown molds will kill it. That doesn't seem to be the case here.
Gotcha.
Because if that were the case, this would be dead and the whole thing here would not be iced over.
Right.
It would be dead, and like, yeah, the inside of it would be, iced over or something like that. But like these are frozen entirely. This is not.
Gotcha.
Cool.
And she'll kind of motion to Sharut, having cleared out like some good viewpoints to see if he can make anything out of these other two, because They mean nothing to her.
Okay. Sharut, would you like to give me a knowledge engineering check?
Although I'm real excited about the first one.
Twice or once?
Twice, and I'll just apply it to both. That's rough.
Yeah, the second one's better.
Are you re-rolling?
No, I thought. Oh, never mind. Just the first one.
Okay. Yeah, you look at these, and I mean, you got the descriptions that I gave Zracht, but you don't know. Dandarin and Tercia. So you're seeing a couple things as you come down in here, and Tercia, you have the light. Number one is that it looks like this place is ransacked is probably not the right word, but hastily packed to the point where like it looks like a lot of stuff was swept off of like particular tables in one direction. Like you can see that there's like splatters over here, so it's like a lot of stuff was swept like into a place. And the same sort of thing here. A lot of stuff was swept this way. So what you're seeing here is that there's not a ton of stuff available. However, with that in mind, actually, Tercy didn't roll me the perception check I asked for.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you ask for it. Where is it?
Dope. So, Tercy, you're looking around, and to you, there's not much here. When you go or look this way, there's a couple of bodies that are like piled off in the corner over here, that have that kind of like typical layer of like ice on them that you're seeing in a lot of places here. And you're able to find a body that's underneath this ramp. But otherwise you don't see much of value. Dandarin, as you're searching through everything and you're realizing that like this is clearly some sort of apothecary shop where somebody would mix some items together, but it looks like everything of note has basically been taken. And then when you get to this one over here, you kind of move the shelf away from the wall a little bit, and you see that there's a small basically like a bracer that has what was that?
Me coughing.
Oh, there's a small
The coughing, I catch it.
There's a small
Take out a
bracer.
Red Bull.
There's a small bracer that has 3 little loops on it, and each loop has a bottle in it.
We'll take the whole thing as we continue on.
Okay, sounds good.
What's in this room?
Can you give me an acrobatics check, please?
Super slick. It's a ramp.
It's a ramp. Okay, you're fine. You get up. So in this room, you see a variety of boxes and crates. From what you can tell at a glance, without doing like a full on, I am searching through all of this. Pretty much everything looks open. And not just opened, but emptied.
So a cursory kind of inspection would do to tell me there's nothing here.
So yeah, like you're coming in and this box is open, this box is open, this box is open, and they're all like, it looks like they were all pried somehow. And you're not really seeing anything of value inside. You're seeing like little piles of stuff, and when you sweep a couple of them aside, it's like, oh, it's herbs or something. So it depends on how long you spend in here, but if you're just like walking through and looking around to see if anything immediately catches your eye, nothing does.
My question is it worth my time?
It's up to you.
Thanks, I hate it. Yeah, I'll. You know what? You have time, right? You specifically said we do have time.
So you guys are not on a clock in here. You can do whatever you want, spend as much time as you want in this place. You are on no kind of clock.
I am going to do that thing I kept threatening to do. I'm going to be super thorough. I take 20.
Okay, you take a 20. So what does that give you total for your perception? That's like a...
because my wisdom has not recovered yet, that gives me a 26.
Okay,
Unless
26.
it's unusual stonework, and then it's a 20.
So again, it is mostly herbs, but as you're kind of like going through it, you find a off in the corner here, and the reason that it's hard to find is because the box is actually sitting on it, and you have to like lift up the box to get it off. You find what appears to be a white like winter cloak with a wolf's head on it.
But we're going to be examining that here in a minute. For now, we just put it away, and I'm going to call out to everyone else. Make sure to be thorough. Check every nook and cranny. It looks like they missed a lot of stuff. You want to try shuffling boxes around and not.
All right. So while he's doing that, and Tercia is put underground in the alchemy lab, Lumio and Delian, are either of you doing anything?
This door over here, I didn't hear it described, or
Yeah, the that door is not. It is not opened. Nobody attempted it. There does seem to be a faint sheen of ice across it. There's, like I said, there's some broken stuff kind of in the corners around here, where they've ripped down tapestries and whatnot, but nobody has attempted to open that.
Can I identify any like broken items around? Like, did they have any relation?
So you can see on the door that there's claw marks. On the side that you're on, there are claw marks. The broken items, for the most part, look like they were the sort of things that you would keep in a foyer. But how can I put it? The sort of things that you would keep in a hobgoblin foyer. So while they are art pieces, they are functional art pieces. So it's like this is like a shattered, farming implement or something like that. It's the kind of things that like hobgoblins would be like, yes, rural. We should remember our roots there.
Yeah. Can I attempt to open the door?
Yeah.
Ice and all?
Yeah. I mean, if you try it, it is either locked or stuck or both. It doesn't open for you when you attempt it.
Okay. Delian. This door appears to be either locked or sealed shut, much as the outer one. Would you see if you can relieve the lock of its duties?
Yeah, let me just take a gander at this. It's nice to get back to basics.
Yeah. So, you're gonna try to pick the lock?
I would chip some of the ice away with
Yeah.
the kukri and stuff like that, then go with the lock picks. Yeah.
Sounds good. Give me a disable device check.
Cool. Nah, it's busted.
Unfortunate.
Just pull Dandarin in and see if he can.
I don't know about
Give
that.
me a minute.
All right.
He says, and then you hear a box slam into another box.
I mean, he's got an axe, and that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes a better tool.
At that point, I'll. Is there enough spot on the pedestal here that I could potentially, for them to be done rummaging?
Yeah, you can sit and
Yeah.
wait. From where you were when you were here-ish, you can see that there's like another set of steps on the other side of where Tercia is. Yeah, like over here. I don't know if you necessarily have a light source with you, but like
I don't. But Delian, would you like to explore the upper area?
Absolutely not. I feel like garbage. I'm gonna be right here.
Very well. Closer to the door that leads to the thing. I understand.
The easiest way to run. At least I know somewhat what's out there.
Oh, I'll go with you.
Excellent.
all right. So Tercia and Lumio start going up. Can I get an acrobatics check from the two of you?
Oh, these stairs are awful.
Mind the step.
Tercia, no big deal.
Got that dancer's grace.
Hey.
Yeah, Lumio, you're not doing too bad. Thankfully, there's this thing here called a handrail, and you got that. You slip a couple times, but you're doing all right. And you guys can get all the way up to the top.
All right.
Yeah, you kind of require her because you have no leg.
I could find some of those items that produce or allow.
So, what you see up here are 3 small basins and a bed. The bed has been ransacked. It has been it is not nearly as nice as this is, but there are not many art pieces of ransacked beds. Like the covers are over here, and the mattress has just been torn apart, and the whole thing is shredded.
Someone had a good or terrible night.
You see that this is similarly broken. It is not just like it looks like it was pounded once very, very hard on this side, and so this side is just caved in. and this side is relatively fine. And then there's 3 basins, just like there were in the front room, that are similarly iced over.
We'll examine the desk for anything still legible.
Yeah. So, give me a linguistics roll. So it's difficult, and you're not fully understanding everything that you're reading. But it looks like whoever this person was Kaldurg's essentially like personal alchemist, and was responsible for assisting the troops in bringing Rhesia to the front line. And by that, it seems that it means cold-based alchemical weapon. So yeah, that's kind of what you're getting from it. Though, considering that you're on a manifest zone, maybe bringing Rhesia to the front line means something completely different. It's a little hard to tell.
I'll gather whatever I think is most, because I'm sure that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I guess I'll spend the 20 to search this place, which for me, I think it's a 27.
A 27. You find something right here.
Neat.
You are fairly certain that this wall moves.
Huh. I'll try and move it.
Okay. Do you have a disabled device at all?
Nope.
Okay. So what you found is a secret door, and you don't know how to open it.
Tercia will just call down the stairs. Hey, I found a secret door. I don't know how to open it, though.
Interesting.
I'll be right there.
Lumio would like to.
Yeah, like once she points it out, the outline of it is, it's not something that you would have noticed immediately, but once it's pointed out to you, it's like, oh yeah, of course it's a secret door. You can say of course once somebody points it out to you, but
Right.
yeah.
Is there like anything in the area that's bolted down or would remain that would be a great housing for a button or lever to?
That's broken, and these aren't.
Oh, well, it's probably something to do with these Tainer. So I'll do a cursory go. This one here.
Okay.
Just kind of feeling at it. Then remember, I don't.
You're like, I rubbed the steel across the other steel. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Yeah, you're you kind of like lean down, like you said. You're like feeling across this weird basin meets top. It's basically like an oversized Pokeball on a 3-legged podium, and it's odd, and you're not really feeling anything. And then you go to this one, and it appears to be a fairly similar kind of affair. Then you go to this one, and you're like, it makes sense to you that the trigger is one of these things somehow, but you don't know how.
I don't like. I do have knowledge in ring, and I would push that only to say that I would probably be able to tell where like a clasp or a pull of some kind would have to be put in action onto that door. But that's about all.
Yeah, I would give a knowledge engineering. Yeah, go ahead. It won't let you open it, but it would potentially give you a hint.
Hey, better.
Better, but still not great. But still not great is still not going to do it. It's
Curse the Dandelion follows me everywhere.
at this point, I think it's your curse.
Just because I've used it more.
So yeah, it's not really.
It's not coming to me. Somebody else will have to.
Cool.
I don't see.
All right. So
Tercia starts to make the bed.
You put the mattress back. Put the rest of the mattress back. Make the blanket sort of lazily drift down. Actually, it doesn't lazily drift down. The blanket's pretty frozen. So you kind of like whip crack the blanket, and a bunch of ice shards shoot off. And then it just flops on top of the mattress. This has been nice.
I have a
That's
question.
better.
Yeah. Sharud has a question. What's up?
The room that I am in currently, you said, was filled with alchemical ingredients.
It looks like it was at one point. At the moment, most of the alchemical ingredients look like they were either taken or spilled across the place.
Okay. Are there any herbs free around?
There's give me a perception check. All right. So it doesn't look like there's anything of value. The ones that are left ice, like when a thing is frozen, even though like Resia has that whole stasis field around it so that things won't rot, when a thing is frozen, its structure is fundamentally altered. So they won't necessarily be usable by you. So while you do see a couple herbs, you're just like, at this point they're basically garbage. So all right, is anyone doing anything else of note in this place?
I mean,
I noticed that
actions are free.
Delian shut the door.
Zarak actually walked over
Yeah,
and shut the
Zarak
door.
did that.
Oh,
I didn't do
gotcha.
shit.
Yeah, Delian's like, nah, I hate this.
Charut will join Dandrin.
I will be using my Bardiche as a brace, for, like a snow ski.
Sounds good. Please roll me an acrobatics check.
I get a bonus.
So what are you using as a brace?
The Bardiche.
No.
Bardiche and my hammer.
No. You make it just fine. I don't know what you're worried about. You're so worried about not making it up, and you haven't fallen once.
Charut
Except for
will
the
follow-
one time that you fell.
Charut will follow him and use the handrail.
Sounds great. Give me an acrobatics check.
Will do.
See, you're fine.
Right, what's this I heard about a secret door of some kind?
Dandarin, hold on one sec. Yeah. You don't immediately notice it.
Tercio was like, yeah, it's right there.
Mumio.
Oh, so it is.
Yeah, right there. There.
Right. So
No,
we need
not
to know
there.
how to-
There.
Yeah, but it also is over here. Like it's a full door.
No, sir. It is right there.
Right, let's get to opening it.
But you see how it goes up and above his head here, and then down over there.
I hate you both.
Oh, for God's sake, I'm just going to take the Bardiche and I'm going to use Limning to just fairy fire the outline. Yeah, that's where the door is.
See? Right there.
Sure, that's what I said.
Mostly over here.
Yes.
So,
Um,
okay, yes. Once they pointed out, Dandarin, like once it's pointed out, it's very obvious. Because like there's kind of a slight crack where the ice is sort of there and expanding that crack just slightly. But you sort of have to see past all the fractures in the ice to actually be able to notice it. Did you want to give me a check to open it up?
engineering or perception, whichever one you want.
It would be disable device.
Blacksmithing it is.
Yeah, you're able to do it. So basically what you realize, and because I'm like imagining that people sort of heard Zarak talking about what was in this one earlier, is you realize that this is that same dangerous material that was downstairs. And the trigger is the trigger is inside this bowl.
Ouch.
But this bowl has kind of like not exactly a hole, but sort of like a channel, and you can kind of like move something in there, and you realize that if this is going to open, and based on how it's going to open, the trigger mechanism has to be somewhere over here, and so you're able to kind of like slide a thin piece of metal, probably a dagger or something like that, in there in that channel, and kind of like tap that the release, and it opens up. It's very, very shallow. So what you see is not even a full room. It's just a little alcove in the wall that's just shaped like a little square. It's about 2 feet off the ground. From the 2 feet off the ground part, it goes about 2 feet up, and it just kind of slides off, and then it gets stuck a little bit. Like there's clearly something blocking where this piece of stone is supposed to go, probably ice, and so you kind of have to like force it, and then it won't go any farther, and then you can reach a hand in there. But you are seeing a couple of things in there. So number one of what you are seeing looks to be a small sort of leather bag. Number two of what you are seeing is a quartet of vials. They are all frozen over, so whatever is in them is good and frozen. But the ice in two of them are red, and the ice in two of them are sort of a murky gold. And then you see a small kind of like pile of coins, like a pile of silver.
Right. Well, I take all that out, and yeah, once we get that last door open, we can this. get warm by a fire, and then
Sounds good.
we can identify all this.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to
So
grab
you,
the railing and go down on my butt.
Yeah. And that's, you realize going down, that is probably a much safer way. Like you definitely would have fallen if you hadn't. To the rest of you, it's up to you if you want to do that to go down or not.
Sharut walks down normally.
Okay, roll acrobatics checks.
Love it.
Tercia, you're fine. Sharut, you fall.
Lumio follows in button slide manner.
Sharut, you go, and then you're down at the bottom, and you don't stop. You slam into this wall. Take 5 points of damage.
All right.
Pride cometh before the fall, Sharut. You're all right.
Pride.
Oh, I pride.
So at this point, I assume that's what's happening is that Dandarin is going to go and beat down the door.
Let me try disable device first. I haven't tried that.
Sure, go ahead and roll it.
Yeah.
So I assume that what's going to happen at this point is that Dandarin is going to go and beat down the door. So you do. It opens. What you see inside looks like a sort of frozen over office. You see a lot of like books along this this wall. You see a chair, you see a desk, and you see right here a hobgoblin appears to be very dead in a manner that you very much there is a curved dagger near the body, which has fallen and frozen over on the ground. The dagger looks similar to one that you... Yeah, so that's what you see.
Right. I will take the 20 to look while I assume Sharut is cherry-picking information.
That is correct.
Sharut, I'm going to start over in this corner, and I'm going to make my way thoroughly around the room. Don't mind me, but let me know if you need assistance.
All right.
Sharut joins him.
Sure thing. While you guys are doing that, can everybody please make me a fortitude save versus...
Mm-hmm.
Ask and you shall receive.
Got one from Dandarin. Got
I'm gonna
one from
spend a
Lumia.
hero point on that.
Got one from Sharut. Sharut, that is a 1, so it is a 1 from Tercia.
Yeah, I spent a hero point.
And all right, so that is 1 from everybody. Sharut, please take 5 points of cold non-lethal damage.
Sharut's not feeling really good.
Yeah, no shit. You just got frostbite.
No, like my current HP is 7.
Well,
so
Yeah, mine is too, bud.
yeah.
Oh, you're that bad? Why didn't you say? Like I thought.
I've been this bad all night. It's been a roller coaster ride, my friend.
He has said everything other than walking directly up to you and saying, "Please heal me."
I healed you once. I thought that was enough. I'm sorry for not recognizing it sooner.
Anyway,
I have been bitten by trolls.
So as you guys are searching, it's taken a while.
Yeah,
it's
just walk it
real.
off.
It's taken a while. It's real cold. There's like you guys are trying to be thorough. So what you are finding in this room, for the most part, is pretty unusable. This is due to the ice and the moisture. While these books aren't rotten, they are sort of iced over. The ink has run. Most of the things that were in here are faded to time. They're so blotted and frozen that they are unused. You are able to find a couple of sort of like old Dakani kind of alchemical secrets. By the way, what I mean by old Dakani alchemical secrets is almost always some sort of weapon of war. That's how they were. So you find a couple of like, mix this, and then it explodes bigger than the other explosion explodes. You find a couple of things in particular about creatures that are inured to cold, and oddly about how to inure creatures to cold over a long period of time with essentially magically selective breeding in the proximity of a manifest zone. It's a little weird. Can you give me a linguistics check there, Sharut, as you're going over all of this?
Before I this check, I do actually want to use one of the vials on myself
Okay.
because I don't want to. I don't want to just EKO from non-lethal. There we go.
Yeah. You shoot a vial into your leg. You heal a bit. Note, this does not heal your cold damage.
Yes, but now I'm much farther from the non-lethal.
I suppose. I'll allow it, but I'm not happy about it.
Did you just say I suppose?
I suppose.
I
Look
have
at
to
you
do this.
catching John Eric in a pun.
I suppose.
This is for the good of all of us.
Now, while he's weak.
22 for Ling.
A 22 for linguistics. There's a small journal here that isn't fully legible. And part of that is because of the ice, and part of that is because as this person killed themselves, they bled on it, and that has sort of soaked into the pages, and then it froze, and it's just kind of wrecked it beyond the point where you can really read it. But you are able to make out a line on one of the final pages, and that line reads as tonight I will send out my apprentices so that they may enact the plan. With the tongue of silver at Intis Ontis, we must remove his tongue.
Tonight I will send out my apprentices so they may enact the plan.
Yes. I will send out my apprentices to enact the plan. With the tongue of silver at Intis Ontis, we must rip out his tongue.
Intis Ontis. We must rip out his tongue.
Yes. Do you have knowledge geography? And if you don't have knowledge geography, knowledge history works here, but it's a harder roll.
I do not have knowledge geography.
Okay.
So I will attempt to make that knowledge.
Sounds good.
How's a 21 set?
Not gonna work. Doesn't do it.
Ah.
You are unfamiliar with the word Intis Ontis. You don't know what it means.
Do I get the idea that it's like from the context of the sentence? Do I get the idea it's a location?
No.
He'll share the information with Dandrin that he found. Actually, I think what he'd do, because that page is kind of legible, right? He can read it.
Yeah.
He'll tear out the page.
Okay. I mean, if you want, you can take the journal. It's just that the vast majority of it is not going to tell you anything of use.
Anything of use? Is there like, I know there's nothing like, oh, this is the fall, but would it give me like some insight into daily life?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take the.
Yeah. Like what they were able to put together is that this person, what Lumio was able to put together upstairs is that this person, whoever they were, was basically Predna's Kaldurg's personal alchemist. So it might give you something. So
Yep, I'll take it.
sounds good. All right, and I think that's the point where we will stop before next week with our heroes having discovered some new information and our hero bleeding next to the door.
Yeah.
We will all remember him for his valiant sacrifice where he got carried away by a two-headed flying manta ray snake monster.
That didn't happen though. Like, we can look at the tape.
Valiant sacrifice where he got carried away.
I would like to heal him now so I don't forget.
Well, tough shit. I already said we're done.
Shit.
you can heal him first thing next session.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see you all next week, and thanks for joining the stream. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.